Welcome to Superchat. Whether you're working on your first 100, 2,000, 100, 1,000, 2,000, any number of subscribers, you've come to the right place. We're going to introduce you to some of the most influential content creators that can help to get your channel moving beyond your first 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. You see what happens if we take even one day off. I forget how to do the whole thing and trip all over my words. But thank you, everybody, for your patience. Thank you for coming today. The other day I had some technical difficulties. I ended up updating the entire operating system for the computer, which I like to procrastinate in doing, and then that solved most of our problems. Little bit of reset for the Stream Deck and things like that, but this is something that helped for those of you who think about using OBS or Streamlabs desktop. That can be a problem solver. So the first channel that we're looking at today is the Black Widow's Web, and this is a long-time generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. I'm on the live stream page first here because this channel, the magic happens in the live streams where they're doing live buy it now sales and auctions. We have many friends in the Superchat family who have done this, and that format of live streaming has gotten so popular that there are even there's at least one new network that has really taken the world by storm called Whatnot, and even we've got some friends on there as well. But this can be really exciting because these creators, like the Black Widow's Web, will find items that they put on the screen. You can bid right then and there, and they often get into some pretty vibrant conversations in the middle of showcasing a lot of the items. This creator is now at 350 subscribers, so halfway on the road to 400. We always say you're on a road when you get to a 100 milestone. Since they're long past 300 now, officially on the road to 400, they're halfway there with 350. So we'd love to push them a little bit closer to the 400. We know they must be thinking about. They got a few shorts on the channel as well. Like most creators, they're just bringing random content into the shorts to drive some views and subscribers. They've gotten into 1,600 views on a couple of these, and then video just to showcase what the channel's about. They've got more information on their about section as well. So the Black Widow's Web is a longtime friend, and like I said, a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. Hopefully everybody will connect with them. And we'll do some introductions. I see the Stock Explorers in the house. Michael's Adventures dropped a raid for us again. He premieres every night at 8 p.m. Eastern, but he moves them on the days we run Superchat to go right before us and send in a couple of friends, and I always appreciate that. He is one of the most supportive creators that I've met in my 7 years on YouTube, or 8 years now, pardon me, and all of our moderators are dear friends of mine and each other. They all share an enormous sense of generosity. You'll meet more friends when you're with all of them. Scratch and PPA will send his regards. He's in Italy right now. As far as I know, he is still on vacation. He did this a couple of years ago. He's back with family again. We'll be anxiously awaiting his return, but we hope that he's enjoying his time and doing all he needs to do over there. A Brilliance Blessings, thank you so much for another super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. They've done that before. And while it is absolutely unnecessary, of course it is appreciated. We always put Super Chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen, and then we'll get back to spinning the wheel like we always do in another moment. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. Yeah, I don't think Pete mentioned exactly how long he was going to be gone for. I think the last time he went it was 2 weeks, but I mean, if you're going to Europe from North America, it's worth spending every moment that you can over there. I haven't been there, but when you think about, you know, flights and vacations and things like that. I am Betty J. Gathers, another beloved and dedicated moderator, along with Just Jason Keto, are both here. Home by Design with Marilyn and Chef Mama Bliss are early in the door. Everybody's BFF, Butler Family Farm, is also in the house, and Bella's Whisper Farmstead Kristen is coming in. We always put our members onto the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat, but after a little while, I'll add some names to our wheel from our chat list based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation over the course of the stream. Leonica is going to come up next because they have dropped a super chat as well. They've done that countless times before, and I certainly do appreciate the extra generous support. Then we look at the chat. I see Donnelly Montgomery's here early. Fever Dream Animation's been out in everybody's stuff today. Kyle Vlogs is here. Palazzo Place, it's always good to have you back. They are here for just about every stream. So is Rushing Wind Mountain. They've been with us for what's getting on 5 years now. Savannah Mills is in the house. Southern Belle Auctions is here as well. The Confident Quilter and Timmy the Racing Channel are both here. Now, hopefully I'm not missing anybody. As long as everybody's still active in the chat, we should get around to saying hello to everyone. Brilliance Blessings is a channel I'm still getting to know. They've been here a few times. Look at this, 24,000 subscribers, which is great. I know a lot of creators are promoting their channels in a lot of different ways online to grow them rapidly. And then here is where we grab organic connections with other creators, of course, to give our channels a solid and strong foundation. Now, this creator's posting pretty frequently. They've got one video that just came out yesterday, and it looks like a couple of them at the same time. Now, we're always looking for videos that are 3 minutes or longer when we're connecting with each other, if possible. If you find a channel that only has short videos, that's fine. I just recommend watching 2 or 3 in full. But where possible, a 3-minute video will help. So I'm going to take the longer of the 2 new ones here because I'm already connected to the channel, and I'm going to put this video into a special playlist I have. I call it my catch-up list. It's just a fun name for a playlist I use to keep or get caught up with creators. Shorts on this channel have gotten into 1,200 views, 1,800 on one, which is great. Plenty of them over 1,000. And then live streams on the channel as well. And up to a couple months ago, they were doing many of these. And then we've got more information on their About section. And hopefully everybody will connect with a Brilliance Blessings. And then Rock Chick Beauty from the UK is here. Vintage Style by Joe. I missed your live stream today by like 24 minutes. I had an early day, home from work early, and when I hopped on, I saw you had just finished. And then Go With The Flow Farm. Good to see you here as well. And again, hopefully I'm not missing anybody. But a Brilliance Blessings, thank you for another super chat. I really do appreciate this extra generous support. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. I didn't think of it, but hopefully my volumes and everything are still okay. One of the great things about Streamlabs Desktop, which I'm using and have been for years now, it's had its frustrations, I promise you, but what it does is it keeps your settings in the cloud. So I did the most thorough uninstall that a person could do. Getting into the terminal, getting into the library folders on Mac and everything else. Those of you who use Mac know what I'm talking about. And it is quite a headache, and I spent a lot of hours working on this to try to get the thing to work before upgrading the operating system. So being fully clean, you would think, oh no, your scenes are gone, your widgets are gone, everything's gone. No, it was actually still there because they keep those settings in the cloud, even though the files that are used are on my computer. So it's quite a decent system that they've got going on. It's been incredibly convenient for a very long time. It's why I use it so much. I use it for mobile streaming as well. But like I said, everything comes with their headaches. I don't think anything's given me more of a headache than the Stream Deck. I do love them. Kristen got me one years ago. I bought another one because I loved it so much, and I use it every day. That's how I play the clips here. It's how I switch scenes, and you know, whether it's worth the money or not, I'm not sure because they're quite expensive at times. But the resetting I've had to do of that thing over and over again. I don't mean to whine and complain, but when we talk about YouTube, just to give everybody some thought as to whether you're going to look into having this stuff. And anybody can reach out anytime, by the way. I'm on Instagram all the time, Facebook most of the time, Twitter some of the time as well. I see Anthony Adrian Blyther. Good to, pardon me, author Adrian Blyther. Even my glasses on, I can't see a thing. And Driving Daily, I did catch for a live stream just about an hour ago. We were talking about not the old days, but comparing generations, let's just say. I'll let you go back and watch the replay, but we're talking about how cell phones have changed, how the idea of playing outdoors seems to have changed. I'd love to know that people, children, young people are still playing outdoors as much as they ever did. It's just, it seems like everybody's got an iPhone or an iPod or an iPad, I mean to say, or anything else in their hand all the time. I don't know if it's as bad as we all think it is. But we know that those things are available now. Angie's Oddities, good to see you in the house. You were trading playlists with somebody and they were told you that was not allowed on YouTube. So there's a lot of different information out there. I've been corrected many times over the years in Superchat. What I can tell you, though, is that we have been doing this for years. And we have seen channels monetized because of a large part in because of that. The reason why we push, or I push, playlists so much is not really the watch hours. It's a great benefit. It really helps. But the truth of the matter is the friendships that are made when you trade favors with people is where the magic happens in this whole channel operation, stream, and everything else. But we've been doing this for years. So we always have to think about where we're taking information from. And that goes for everybody, including the things I say. I don't want to make it sound like I think I know everything. I certainly don't. I learn from channels every single day. I never want to tell anybody what they should or shouldn't do with their channel, even though I know it must sound like that sometimes because I speak very fast and everything else. We try to race through subjects. But you always want to consider that. So the best I can offer here is the idea that we share our knowledge together. Then we can all add the things that we discussed to the things we already know, the things we're going to continue to learn, and then we can make the best decisions for our channels and our videos, myself included. But I've run many channels and swapped playlists with people a million times. Literally, with tons of accounts and everything else. So it's been fine. But my suggestion for anybody, when you run into somebody that doesn't want to do some of the things that you want to do, like swapping playlists and things like this, if they say so, I would just move on to another friend to do it. Like, you know, everybody can always be friends. But if somebody doesn't want to do it, I wouldn't rebuttal them and say, oh, Superchat said it's okay. Like, it doesn't matter, because we don't want to push people into things they don't want to do. It's the worst way to gain a loyal and dedicated subscriber. It won't pay off in the long run. I'd rather let everybody, you know, live as they want to live and do as they want to do. Again, none of this is necessarily right. We just decide the things we want to do. But obviously we're doing fine. We've been here all this time, so it has to be doing something. And we'll have a lot of friends here that will vouch for the idea that they've made great friends and gained a lot of watch hours from swapping playlists and things like that. But I don't want anybody to do anything that they don't want to do. That goes for everybody here as well. Don't feel pressured into any of the stuff that we talk about at all. We're really here to make friends with other creators. And that's the thing. And then Rock Chick Beauty came in and dropped a super chat just like Leonica did. So thank you for that. And thanks to Brilliance Blessings again. They've all done that before. Edna's World is here. She is one of the featured creators in our How to Gain 10,000 Subscribers series. And we've got a lot of information. The best part about that series, besides my opportunity to talk to some friends about their YouTube journey, is the fact that they don't all say the same thing, and their opinions don't necessarily match mine all of the time either. And that's a perfect example of what I was just saying. We don't have to agree. And we certainly don't have, I haven't met anybody that's become a friend that insists that they're always right and, everybody should do what they do. Sometimes we see that kind of thing in chats and stuff, but not truly. In creators, there's a lot to have gone through, especially when we start getting into a few thousand subscribers and everything. Most of us have probably been corrected in a lot of the things we thought in our first year compared to our second and third year, let's say. Oh, and there you go. Yeah, just Jason Keto. Yeah, we would just always recommend nobody ever bother trying to gain watch hours with your own stuff. You're much better off, in my opinion, getting a new friend in another channel on some other area of the planet, even if it's the street next door to you, to get to watch your stuff. But I promise you, all of it works for us. So if we all go, if you want to swap playlists with people, everybody's welcome to do it. If you want to do that, you can obviously do that with just about anybody at all. But I promise you, if you do it consistently and you keep in mind the idea that we give much more than we expect to receive. It's easy for me to say, but it's not necessarily easy to have in your own mind. Life is not fair. We have to be prepared. If we want 3,000 hours of watch time, we have to be prepared to go and give 10,000. If we want 3 comments on our videos, we have to be willing to go and give 10. That's the truth. But if you do, I promise you will do as well as anybody you see coming through the Tuber Chat family, including our featured creators in our interview series. They'll all agree, I'm sure. And then Life with Wanda, good to see you here. The Real Martin 1998, good to have you back. New Horizons Above and Beyond is here with us every day. Handicapped Traveler will be on the wheel. They've got a couple of channels, actually. I'm going to try to move it through channels now. You see what happens. I haven't been here in a few days, and now I've got too much to say. So we're going to get into long speech day, of course. And then Coastal Water is in the house. Jesse Journals and Unboxes. Actually, before I continue, I'm just going to run something by everybody right now, and then I'll probably talk about it a few times. I just want to get a feeler out there for something. I might have seen somebody... the Real Martin 1998 is celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Looks like tomorrow might be their birthday. So happy day before your birthday. Angie's Oddities, I think I said hello. I'm just going to catch up for 1 second. I just want to ask everybody something, but it's just something that's important to me, if you don't mind. And then... hopefully my long-winded answer was helpful. If not, I can elaborate on any detail anybody needs me to. And pardon me, my allergies are on me. I'm itching and every other thing today. So I just wanted to ask one quick thing, primarily to our friends who've been with us many times before, because some of you are still getting to know us and me and everything, even though the idea is open to everybody. I was on a panel a few weeks ago, and I've done lots of those, dozens over the years. Not as many as I thought, but I do enjoy them. But we had a really good time because I was invited by Jeremy and Cheryl from Cruising is Fun Anytime and Scotty J Travels, and they hosted 10 different creators, including themselves or pairs of creators, in a panel where we were talking about YouTube and our journey and our opinions and everything else. And I thought that was a lot of fun. In the early days of YouTube for myself personally, we did a lot of panels. A lot of my friends that have panels are moderators and things like that, and I'd hop on there with them occasionally, but it was always a good time, and we've come so far. We have so many more friends, such a bigger community and audiences and everything else, that I wonder if some of those will be fun if I host open panels occasionally. I don't want to commit to anything weekly or monthly, but maybe we'll try one and see how it goes. But I'm just curious if anybody would be willing to do that. And there's a couple of purposes. I mean, really, I just want to do it because I just want to talk to everybody and have fun. And we can get a little more relaxed than we are here and really deep dive into some conversations if we want, or we can talk about the weather and boats and flowers and chocolate chip cookies and every other thing that comes up. And I think it will be a lot of fun, but we can help people with watch hours as well, because obviously everybody would be able to come in. We'll do the StreamYard thing where everybody can push it out and gain some watch hours that way. But if some of our friends are thinking that that would be a good idea, if you'd be willing to join me, then just either please reach out, especially on Instagram or somewhere, and let me know. Austin Garrett, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. We've been at this for so many years now. I have a feeling we'll have no problem filling a panel many times. And then I just got to pick a day and time, but we'll see. Thank you, Edna's World, for the share. The shares are the thing that helps the most. You know, we're now on, and I'm going to move it to channels, I promise you. We're almost at 860 of these episodes. I don't know what we're going to do after we get to 1,000. I don't have any intention of stopping, but I don't have any intention of anything. We thought we would do 1,000 episodes 5 years ago and then see how things went. So we'll see where we get by the end of next year. We should be closing in on episode 1,000 sometimes late in 2026. And then we'll see what happens after that. But it's something else to see that we've gone that far. But the shares really help. I don't know if we're going to get to 10,000 subscribers by then. I think it would be wonderful. I usually don't bother worrying about subscribers here because we want the right people that want to do what we're doing. We're not focused on growth the way everybody is. But the shares really do help because it always brings people in. So I appreciate that. And then JetLife777 is also in the house. I know I'm missing a few names. Coastal Water came in. I got them on the wheel. Canadian Family Life is here. Beloved and dedicated moderator. Members and moderators are always put on the wheel as soon as I see them in the chat. I promised I would move it through channels, so I'm going to try to now. And, Austin Garrett picked up a gifted membership. That's great. And then we're still looking at Leonica right now. Rock Chick Beauty's coming up in a second. They both have dropped super chats. They've both done it before many times. Leonica brings us variety on her channel. She'll give you some information on her about section. But she could either be indoors or outdoors. I really never know what she's going to be doing. She does a ton of live streaming almost daily. I'm just going to look at her latest video though. And this is an interesting mix of chicken wings by the look of it. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. That's that playlist I talk about. That helps me keep or get caught up with creators. And then I'll look at the shorts on the channel and see what they've been up to this week. 1,300, 1,900 views on a couple of these. More variety. And then, like I said, live streaming almost daily. See this sometimes multiple times a day. I've been lucky enough to catch them time and time again. So they do a great job of keeping up with the chat. And they're doing vertical live streams. So, of course, they're gaining subscribers. There still is truth to the idea that vertical live streams seem to do better. You guys can let me know if you think so. Actually, let's do a poll. I just want to know what everybody has to say. So I'll show you how to do this if you want to. When we go to our, I'm obviously on a browser, but I'm going to go to my chat here, and then I'm going to hit one of the plus buttons at the bottom here, start a poll, and then I'm going to say, do vertical live streams get more views? And everybody can answer yes or no. So obviously that question leaves it open-ended. You don't have to live stream, but even if you've seen it in other people's live streams, I'm just curious to know what everybody really thinks. What's the truth about that as far as we've seen? Berdazzle, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Jeremy D-Day has been a friend of mine for like 6 years. Nesha Antoinette, good to have you back. And yeah, Michael's Adventures. I probably will. I don't have any intention of stopping. It's just, you know, that I numbered them so that we would hit 1,000 someday. I would love to follow through with that. Not always in life are we able to follow through with things, so it'd be nice to get that done. And we'll see. We'll see what happens after that. I don't really have any intention of changing everything because we're doing just fine. I know YouTube has changed. We'll keep an eye on that, but we've been doing this for 5 years now, like I keep saying. Rock Chick Beauty's coming up. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. Yeah, Jason, he's somebody, obviously a beloved and dedicated moderator here, but he cares deeply about the YouTube journey. So he'll always share his honest opinion and his experience, because he's been at this for years. His channel's over 6,000 now. And I've met up with him. He's only a couple hours away from me in Ontario, Canada here. But he talks about the idea that vertical lives can get you more viewers, but it also brings in trolls. Not exclusively, it's just, yes, it can. A lot of times what we see in what we think is trolling right away can be just, you don't want to discriminate, but, like younger creators that are unsupervised and, behaving badly and don't know any better because their parents aren't watching everything they're saying online, but not truly like, aggressive trolling. Then there are some that are just awful. They'll follow you for weeks and it's terrible and awful. And I promise you, in my early days of YouTube, the first couple years, I got it bad, especially after Superchat had started. And it was just horrifying. And I was happy to be able to understand what people go through when they do have like a truly stalking troll that just won't let up and is on you all the time. But what I found over the years is that the worst of the worst dissipates after a couple of weeks. And I've seen it on every channel that I've run that has gotten into at least a couple thousand subscribers. So these are just ideas. I wouldn't recommend it if somebody doesn't, really doesn't like that stuff. But for those of us who have been through trolls before, we just shrug it off because we know it's the same behavior over and over and over again, even though it's different, if we want to say people every time. So it's a trade-off, right? These are what we have to think about. I've experimented with both vertical and horizontal live streams. I haven't had the best success myself personally with tons of people coming in on a vertical live stream, but I also haven't done very long ones. I usually am on for an hour if I'm doing something like that. But I appreciate everybody's opinion here. And then before we talk about Rock Chick Beauty, let's just see what everybody had to say there. So it looks not as far split as I thought. Only just over half of everybody says that vertical live streams get more views. So if that was truly the case, then I might not even bother. But it's just a thought. And then, it helps when you have a lot of moderators that are experienced and can just spot the difference between trolls and, people who need attention and stuff like that. Oh, shorts attract a lot of nasty people too, yeah. It's not like Facebook. Facebook, in my opinion, has the best security of anybody ever. I know a lot of people get hacked in this and that, but what I mean by it is when somebody has any length of time on Facebook, like, so if they have an account and they stay for a year, it's probably a real person or close to it. And what I mean by that is they have always allowed other companies, you see those buttons on websites and stuff, so log in with YouTube, log in with Google, log in with Facebook. So if YouTube had done something like that and said log in with Facebook, we wouldn't have all the trolling. They wouldn't get nearly the views that they do, because trolls love to hang out and give views and thumbs down and all that other nonsense. But, that's why I think YouTube doesn't really do much about it. How is it 20 years and it's still going on? That, obviously, if you were going to fix it, you're going to fix it. But something like log in with Facebook, when you go on there and you see people making nasty comments, now you can like literally block them. You know who they are. The social credit score thing that people talk about. Not that I want to get political, but we're doing it to ourselves. We really are. We're posting everything online and people are trigger happy, ready to ruin everybody's lives with their phones and everything else for everything they've ever done and everybody they've ever met. But I believe it's coming. We'll see. And then Yeah, I am Betty J Gathers. I've had that. I've even had friends come in, like friends from real life outside of YouTube, come in and started hammering the chat because they're giggling. They thought it was funny. They chased everybody away, and I was miserable, and I snapped and blocked them all and everything else. Um, but that stuff used to bother me a lot more in the early days, and most of us have been through some of that by now. If you haven't got a hater by the time you got to 1,000 subscribers, it's coming by the time you hit 2,000, almost certainly. But most of us can get by it, and luckily we've got this community now and lots of other communities spidering out from it, so that there's a lot of support there. It's one of those things where, like, when you tell a friend, oh man, I got a troll in my chat and they're really being horrible, somebody else is going to say, oh yeah, well, I've seen that before many times. And it can help because you're like, oh, they're not really just after me. No, they're just bad behavior, and there's a million other things that cause that. Anfield Road Layout in the Loft, thank you so much. And I know I'm talking a lot today. I promise you, I'm going to get moving through channels in a second. And Bonnie's Corner, good to see you in the house. Oh, driving daily, that thing that we were talking about today with the Palm Pilots. I can't remember if mine was actually a Palm Pilot or if it was named something else. Because the one that I had, we were talking about Palm Pilots, and I was mentioning we used to use them. I used to work in nightclubs and things, and we would use them. We would buy a very expensive card reader that goes in the top. It's almost like the stripe things that people were using for their phones years ago. And it sticks right into the thing like a plug-in, and scans IDs like licenses and stuff for places that need 19 and over or 21 and over and stuff like that. But I can't remember if it was the actual Palm Pilot or if it was something else. If you were to tell me the name, I'd remember what it is, but it's similar. Might have come out after. Rachel Oha, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Rebecca LaPrince is here. These members are going to be added to the wheel right away. We always put members and moderators on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. Homebody Trish. Homebody Trish is getting on there as well. And we'll get moving in a second here. Talking about Rock Chick Beauty. She's been a friend since the beginning. She actually reset and restarted her channel about 6 months in. And the cool thing about that is the idea, you wonder to yourself, could somebody become stronger and more solid in their channel and their journey the second time around? And you'll see right away that Rock Chick Beauty's always had a professional look for their channel. If I go even to their oldest videos, you'll see their restart. This is 5 years ago now, or close to it. Already had a professional look to everything she was doing. And hindsight is 2020, right? And then these bright, bold headshots make her recognizable as well. I can't believe how far I've fallen behind with your videos. I'm just going to grab the latest one, put that in my catch-up list. She talks all things alternative, specifically starting with beauty and makeup, get ready with me type video ideas. This is one of the creators I was talking about. I've been on many panels with back in the day with some of our earliest moderators and things like that. Rock Chick Beauty comes from the UK and expanded her channel into things like unboxing videos, product reviews, and now even sponsored videos. And she's monetized. Lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there. She's gotten into 3,000, 4,000, even 11,000 views on one of these shorts videos, and then live streams as well. I was lucky to catch her a couple months ago. She's usually on every month or two, but she's so supportive to other creators and has been for the last 5 years that she can go live whenever she wants. She'll always have a audience coming in there. And then, yeah, somebody's been trying to get into my Facebook again this week. They do it a million times. I had somebody try to get into my LinkedIn a while back, but they don't know that when it sends your email to tell you somebody's trying to get in, it tells you what city they're from exactly. So that was interesting to see. And then Facebook's not quite as aggressive, but if you do find yourself with one of those emails, like I always assume everything's a scam, so it's hard to scam me, not impossible, but it's hard. And then when you see anything that says, somebody's trying to do something, just be very careful about links. We all know this. But also, if you're sure that it really is from Facebook, there's a thing at the bottom that says, this wasn't you, let us know. And all you do is click the button, and then, it might mark their IP address or something, so that hopefully people who repeatedly try to do this stuff get cut off eventually. I've seen many people lose their Instagram and Facebook accounts over the years, and it's got to be very upsetting. I've been lucky not to have lost one yet, knock on wood. Not anyone that's important anyway. Oh, yeah. Handicapped traveler. There's an example. Yes, if somebody younger saw somebody older online, they might make a joke and say, like, hi, Grandpa. But no, if it was actually your granddaughter or grandchild, then that could be confusing for... I have a lot of people when... It's not often, but occasionally, and it's happened many times when I'll go into a live stream for the first time, and somebody will ask if they should time me out, or they'll start removing my messages because they think that Superchat Connect and Grow is a robot. And I've been timed out by Nightbot and banned on channels just as much as anybody, I promise you. And then, and there you go. Yeah, Just Jason Keto. I have had that since I started on YouTube. On my personal channel, every single thing I ever do gets at least 1 thumbs down. And I think that will be forever. I think they're not only subscribed, but they have the notification on to make sure, because they think it matters, right? Well, 1 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down when you're getting, 20, 30, 50 thumbs up doesn't make a difference. But, people have to do what they have to do. I made a big mistake, and I will share that story with everybody. I've talked about it before. So many years ago, I did a lot of outdoor live streaming for something called the Freedom Convoy. Some of you remember it. It was a newsworthy event around the world in Canada. So I was able to go there because it's only a few hours away from me, and I stayed and filmed for days and everything else. And what happened, though, is because the live streams are getting so many views, I gained 7,000 subscribers in 3 weeks because of the live streams, because it was on the world stage, basically, right? None of those people come back. I have 10,000 on that channel, but it performs like a channel with 3,000 because those people were news chasers and they've gone to everything else now. I did make some long-term connections, but a fraction, a tiny little fraction. But what happened is people started restreaming it, and, some people were almost cool about it because they'd stream it and say, hey, I'm restreaming this person. They'd at least give credit. But there was other people who would, take your name and, cover it with their name and stuff like that. And so I made a mistake where I copyright strike somebody right away instead of giving the 7 days grace period or whatever. And I think that got somebody really upset. And I got an email from somebody, I'm not trying to make money off your stuff. It's well, okay, but why are you using it then, kind of thing. And what I would recommend to everybody is if your content gets stolen, which is an inevitability for anybody who gets to 10,000 or 100,000 subscribers, someday somebody's going to take it without asking you in a way you may not like at first. Please sleep on it. Just give yourself a day to think about how you really feel about it. And then if you're going to copyright strike somebody or whatever, the guideline strike or whatever it is that we do for that, then my opinion is to always give the grace period, even when they're terrible, even when they did it on purpose, even when they don't care, because you could be asking for a lifetime of a long-winded troll chasing you forever. Hugo Homestead, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. It's not right, and it's not fair, but life is not fair. I've said that many times. And Mr. Fulton Mraz, good to see you in the house. Oh, MeWe, yes, you're right. New Horizons Above and Beyond. Apparently, Sam Altman is going to make a live, another social network. They're working on it now. And my guess is that he's going to make WorldCoin a part of it, which is just another cryptocurrency. I'm into all that stuff and been watching it for years now. I'm on it every day, learning every day for at least an hour. But if he does come out with a social network, they've got this interesting concept, and you'll have to decide how you feel about it, but it's called Proof of Human. And what they mean by that is the idea you can go to many places in major cities already and get your retinas scanned. I think it's your retina or your iris, it's one or the other, to prove that you are you. So when you do things in the world, because AI is getting so good, eventually we're all going to have to prove it's really us. Because anybody can make anybody say anything or look like they've done anything. We've already seen this for years when Trump holds up some kind of a book or a page and everybody writes whatever they want on it and people believe it. That is 99% fake, right? They do it on purpose. They do it so it will go viral. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's my opinion. And then, but people now, you've seen the AIs. And it will be interesting to see if he can do what Facebook never did and actually protect people from having their identity stolen. So we'll see. And there you go. Yeah, Canadian Family Life got the luck of the draw today. The wheel picked them first. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @ mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. Forgive me for anything I've missed in the chat. I know Mr. Fulton Mraz always has interesting news. Oh, yeah, just Jason Keto. That, things like emails and stuff, it could be such a headache. Because the problem is some of us don't think about all of the security things we could have used while it's happening. And then afterwards, you're like, oh, I should have used different things. So my recommendation for everybody is to use a different YouTube email address than you use for anything else. You don't use it for anything except logging in. And that's it. You do the same thing with all the social networks. And you'll have to really learn how to use emails in an advanced way so that you don't have to go and set up a million of them. But that prevents anybody from getting in. So even if somebody was to be lucky enough to steal my Facebook email address, they can't get into Twitter. And in a lot of cases, some of the things I use are similar where somebody could almost figure it out. Passwords are almost unidentifiable, if that makes any sense. I used to have things set up where my son could probably guess within 3 tries what my stuff is because I told him how I do everything. But even now I've changed it so much he'd probably end up locked out of half the stuff as well and not able to get it because I've just been, we all get it eventually, but just been attempted to be hacked so many times that I've made passwords into things where even I have to keep them somewhere safe. I don't remember what they are. I have to look them up. So I also recommend everybody put 2-factor authentication on for everything. I know it's annoying, but it's less annoying than losing a Facebook account or Instagram account or, God forbid, your YouTube account or, something else. Keeping up with the Griffins. Good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. You see how I'm talking too much again? Because we were off for 1 day. So now I got 2 streams worth of conversations to go over today. But this is what I mean about having an open panel. If I was to host an open panel, anybody, within reason could come in and out, and we could talk about anything. It doesn't have to be YouTube and things like that. I can share screens and talk about things that people want to know or things I can help with, or everybody could teach me stuff or whatever. But then we can get into longer conversations about this stuff, and then I can show everybody, this is what I mean. When you're going to set up an email for a new service, this is what we do. This is how I do it. You might have better ideas. But these are ideas. And there you go. Crochet and Knit Around New Zealand is now Trish's Yarn Adventure. So thank you for the update, but it's good to have you back in the house. And then hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I know I've fallen behind. I usually don't even bother trying to keep up with the chat a lot of the time, meaning conversation, because everybody can talk amongst themselves, and then I focus on channels. But if anybody needs me to see anything, you can 3 thumbs up or @ mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. PK Adventure Travels is here, and as soon as I am caught up, I'm going to get back to talking about Canadian Family Life, spinning the wheel, and we'll get to as many channels as we can in the next over 2 hours. Yeah, that's perfect. Yes, Canadian Family Life mentions the idea. The email that they use for their YouTube channel is to log in, but not for communication. You put a different email address for people to contact you. That way, nobody ever has access. It's a really unfortunate thing. And I'll just be straight with everybody and tell you, yes, I am absolutely paranoid at all times. It's probably my superpower in life. But you don't know who's going to turn on you someday. I bet you everybody in this chat, as sad as it is, probably has a story from somewhere in life where somebody who was a friend is no longer a friend, or family member. Unfortunately, I hate when that happens, and it hasn't happened to me, but I'm just saying. But where literally you're like, nope, even if I saw them in the street, I never want to talk to them again. They are a horrible person and I need to be away. And that can happen. It can happen on YouTube. I had a moderator, somebody who was a moderator in the first year of YouTube, go through and start deleting people because they got all upset because I was helping them and then couldn't afford the time to help them anymore. It's like, I can give you a certain amount of help, but once it becomes like, okay, every day we're doing something, then it starts to become overreach, and then they got mad at me, like, for instance. So that can happen to anybody, Of course, I think I'm right. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But that's a perfect first step, Canadian Family Life, or even second step there is having separate email addresses for login and communication. Very important, though. I hope everybody can find a little bit of value in the things I'm talking about, even though I'm being long-winded about it. And there you go. Yeah, Henry Leslie, Vermont has updated everything. I update all the time. Literally. Multiple factor authentication. PK Adventure Travels is on the wheel. Canadian Family Life comes from New Brunswick. This is Tiffany, and her whole family gets involved in the channel. It's literally a family channel. They do all kinds of variety that you'd expect from a family channel. A lot of food bank grocery hauls, a lot of cooking and baking videos, sometimes challenges, sometimes collaborations with other YouTubers as well. That's a great way to grow your channel very quickly. Tiffany's been involved in a lot of StreamYard panels like I'm talking about. It's what made her so recognizable in the early days. She is coming up with lots of different ideas when it comes to cooking and baking, and I don't believe that I didn't actually watch this video. I thought I had it in a catch-up later, or my catch-up list, or my watch later list, and I didn't. Freezer-friendly budget pizzas. I think I shared, did I not share it out or something? Something about that video, I can't remember. Maybe I meant to put it in my catch-up list last stream and then we were off. So sometimes they do product reviews. Tiffany's husband gets involved in the channel quite a bit. The whole family pops in and out of there, but her husband Chris has his own channel as well. He does 3D printing, do-it-yourself videos, and a bit more. They've got an impeccable container garden that I talk about all the time. Here it is right here. And then Tiffany has been known to do a lot of vlogging and change things up over the Christmas series as well. A lot of creativity and, like I said, always getting the family involved. They've got shorts over here as well, some winter weather doing well. They've gotten into 2,500, 29, 3,800, 5,600 on one of them, and then live streams on the channel as well. So Canadian Family Life goes live occasionally, usually every few months or so, but she can go live whenever she wants, and we'll have a flood of support in the chat because of how much she does for other people. I probably run into her every day supporting other creators. And then hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. And then Trisha's Yarn Adventures. Yeah, YouTube can have its jealousy that comes around. The only thing I can recommend for everybody, and it's easier to do from the start as to after your channel's already running, but is to basically just have your foot solidly on the ground. And when people say like, oh, well, you shouldn't do what I'm doing. Nope, I was already doing it. Because you'll notice that Superchat is not the first growth stream. There were hundreds, if not thousands of people doing what we're doing here, sort of, before I even started doing it. So I started right away telling everybody, we don't have a schedule. We go live whenever we can, and we mix up days, we mix up times. So not one person in the history of 5 years now has gotten mad at me for going live during their time slot, where we know that that is a problem between creators sometimes. There's 50 million channels out there. 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 viewers isn't going to matter in the grand scale. I promise you. It's not worth getting upset and ruining friendships over. But that's just opinion. Not saying I'm right, and it's easy for me to say because I haven't been in the situation. But this is... these are things that can start it. There's, lots of people who will get into, oh, there's too many people doing our genre, you shouldn't be doing it, and stuff like that. I had somebody try once many months ago to say, Tuber Chat, my people are loyal to me. And I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? That they're not allowed to watch anything else on YouTube except for you? Are you out of your mind? I didn't say that, but you know what I mean. Break time is coming up, yes, and I do have my coffee that's got my honey in it. I'm just in Yaparama mode today, I think. We'll spin the wheel. We'll get another channel ready to go. Thank you again, Rock Chick Beauty, and pardon me, Leonica and A Brilliant's Blessings for those super chats earlier. We looked at their channels already because we do that right away when those things happen. The Stock Explorer is coming up. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. And then Butler Family Farm, thank you for the super chat again. They've done that a million times before. You see their link was dropped as soon as they did that, of course. But I'm still going to hold you up for a few minutes before we put your channel up. And then, and then forgive me, I didn't call your channel out by name, but I did get it on the wheel. Me 2 times, elevate me to you. Thank you again. Oh, because you got monetized first. Yeah, Trisha's Yarn Adventures. There's a million reasons for jealousy. It's upsetting for people to see people moving faster, and I know it goes against human nature, but I hope that everybody here can actually truly have joy as an emotion for each other when we see channels growing, getting monetized, getting big super chats, getting big memberships and stuff like that. Because the more of that there is for everyone, then literally the more of that there is available for everyone. The more people in the world who get involved in things like super chats, memberships, and other forms of monetization, the easier it is for all of us. Let's just say. So I promise you, I know what it's like to watch other people get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars in super chats when you don't. But I promise you, it can happen for everybody. I have been in a situation where one person gave me $300 in one stream. Here, go have dinner. Which we did. We went and had lunch with it, but these kind of things can happen. I try not to focus too much on monetization here, but I know we all think about it, or at least 99% of us do. Just please try not to get too hung up on it, because I promise you, all of that stuff comes and goes. Nobody has an unlimited budget. I'm sure everybody here would support each other as much as they could, and hopefully everybody is, but there's lots of ways that we can help each other beyond things like super chats and memberships and everything else. Like shares are probably the number one, and word of mouth, when you're literally telling people that you know about channels that you like, right? And then the thumbs up, the comments, the views, the watch hours, and things that we do for each other as well. The Stock Explorer is up here right now. This is one of the most supportive creators that I've met in my YouTube journey, which is now 8 years. The Stock Explorer has been with Tuber Chat from the beginning, and they have really evolved their channel over the years. They started with the stock market, and they talk a little bit about crypto. We share that as a part of our friendship, and we communicate about that often. As a matter of fact, one of the things I like to mention lately is the idea that they give a lot of stock tips, especially to their members. But to anybody on their channel, they do a lot of community posts for this as well, so you can get an idea of what they're watching or what they're doing. They've always been forthcoming about their own investment plays, and it's interesting to go back over the older videos and look at what they've had to say about things like Nvidia or other big companies and everything else. I've seen this creator invest in a stock, order a product from the company, and then unbox it in a live stream. And then the Stock Explorer has really expanded the content over the years. So first of all, they had charts and graphs. Sometimes they do StreamYard panels with other people. Sometimes it's Nora giving us stock tips. A lot of friendly conversation. And then they've gotten into a lot of lottery ticket scratching. And lately, lottery ticket scratch battling. This has been going on for a couple of years now. These can be very fast-paced and high energy, and I'll show you those in a moment. But they've got a series here called Scratching with Strangers. What they're doing in Florida is meeting people for the first time and scratching lottery tickets with them while they entice people in the videos to give interesting stories for us to listen to as well. So hopefully everybody will check those out while you're here. The Stock Explorer is working on 2,400 subscribers now. They've done really well with shorts also. Now this is a channel that gives you a perfect example of variety in shorts videos, getting into 3,000, 4,500, 15,000 views on one. That one still gets views, that Coke machine. And then live streams on the channel as well. So they do some members only content, like I said. Sometimes it's Nora giving us updates and a chance to get to know her. Sometimes it is friendly conversation with other StreamYard panelists. I've been on their channel before. And then sometimes it's charts and graphs talking stock and crypto. But they've got more to show us because they've got a second channel called Tropical Buzz. And this is where they seek to educate us about plant life, some of which is already there, some of which they're growing themselves. And they post here occasionally, but they're over 300 subscribers on this second channel now. They got some shorts over here for us to see as well. Hopefully everybody will connect with Nora, the Stock Explorer, on both of these channels. And then, me 2 times elevate me to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. We're going to put your channel up on the screen right after Butler Family Farm. Right before we do that, we're going to take a break for 3.5 minutes. And right before we do that, I'm going to play a clip from our interview series. These are videos now in the Superchat channel, both listed as a podcast and in a playlist. And these are extremely informative because the creators that I featured in these conversations, although we say they're interviews, is they've all been with us for many years. They are going through all the same things we are. They have been all of this time, but they've all long passed their 10,000 subscribers. So Edna, thank you for all of this. You mentioned comments earlier quickly, and that's one of the things that comes up in every interview. Of course, we're going to talk about likes, views, subs, and everything else, but comments are a very important part of our interaction with our audience. So what can you tell us in your experience of 8 years now about how to entice more comments on your video shorts and streams?
I can't remember who told me this, but years ago somebody told me, I think I was watching like somebody that I always watched, and one of the things that they said to grow your channel was to always give your audience a job to do.
Okay.
Always give them a call to action, because that's going to keep the people engaged. So if I'm talking about cruising, and then you just kind of have to know how to just ease it into your sentence. So it's like, thanks for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. But then also, if I'm talking about a specific thing, like the slot pool, I'll say, have you ever participated in a slot pool? Leave a comment, let me know. And say that. And it's like you're just saying it so naturally that people aren't even realizing that you're making them be engaged, because now they want to tell you their experience.
Yes.
The slot pool. If I'm doing regular life vlogs, like I'm notorious for not liking to try new things. Okay, so everybody's always trying to make me eat new foods, and I'm like, have you ever eaten this? What you put, we have a big debate about grits. I don't know if you eat grits. Does sugar go on grits, sugar or salt? So that's always, give people something to talk about, and they'll have to give you their experience.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is to sort of have like an intro and an outro.
Okay.
If I'm doing a live stream or whatever, it's just like, hey guys, come in. If I'm doing a video, it's, hey guys, happy whatever day it is. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back. If I'm doing a sit down video, then I say, hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for clicking this video. Because I feel like a sit down is so much different than a vlog. With
Certainly.
the vlog is like me talking to my friends. Hey y'all, this is what we're going to Target today. Let's walk around Target. But if I'm sitting down, that means I'm doing something real specific. I'm only talking about what the topic is. So Thank you for clicking this video, because you have an interest in this particular topic.
All right, let's go for 3.5 minutes and we'll be right back with Butler Family Farm. All right, we're just about back. So Butler Family Farm, along with Me 2 times Elevate Me to You, dropped Super Chats right before we went on that break there. So we always put Super Chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. And then we'll get back to spinning the wheel like we always do, and it's been quite a while today. I've done a lot of talking. We're going to start moving through channels faster, I'm sure, but I did add Palazzo Place onto the wheel, and after a little while I'll continue to add names from our chat list. That is always based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation over the course of the stream. Now, I've got a chatbot in the background that keeps track of that, and it does an arbitrary calculation, not just of how long you're here, but how much activity there is in the chat. But I also watch it a little bit, so I think I'm going to be a little more strict moving forward about the idea that it's got to be conversation with other creators, because this whole thing doesn't work if we're just, saying hi, or, hoping people will reach out to us, or just hanging out because, maybe you enjoy the streams, and I appreciate that too. But we want to make sure that those engaging in the conversation that has to do with the community are going to be the ones that get the best chances to be on the wheel or the screen, because we can't get to everybody every day, although we will get to as many channels as we possibly can. Up Designs Custom, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. So we'll keep it as just keep in mind, for anybody that's not as familiar with how the wheel works and everything, it's based on conversation that you have with other creators in the chat. I miss a lot that goes on, but I see the bulk of it, so I understand who's conversating and making friendships here. That's what makes this whole thing work. Butler Family Farm, the latest video that I've got here, I did not actually watch. I wanted to see it. I'm going to put it back in my catch-up list if I haven't cleared it out already. I probably ran that one, but this is where they're harvesting the honey from the bees that they've had on the farm for many years. Michael's Adventures in the chat here, a beloved and dedicated moderator, got me into local honey years ago, and I know for Butler Family Farm in Missouri it's not going to be local for me, but I still think that that's a really cool thing. Hopefully you're able to sell a lot for that. I can tell you right now, the last bottle I paid for honey was 20 Canadian dollars, and that is just under 15 American, probably 13, 14 American dollars. And that just gives you an idea of how much some of that stuff can go for. It looks about the same size, but I try to have local honey. I wouldn't say every day lately. I've been slacking on that. But when we do Tuber Chat live streams, I'll have a teaspoon of honey either in a coffee or by itself to try to keep the voice going a little bit. It really does help. Rockstar X Plays, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm sure you are too. I know it's a long way away. And then, hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. So Butler Family Farm is Jerry and Susan together. They've got 116 acres of farming and a homesteading goodness. And I group a lot of channels together when I talk about homesteading. I think about ranching, farming, fishing, hiking, camping, other outdoor type activities. Because a lot of these creators, along with traditional homesteading channels, want to share knowledge and resources with each other. Now, Butler Family Farm, they show us all around their farm, all that it takes to look after the property, the livestock. They've got cattle, goats, donkeys, horses, llamas, chickens, cats, and dogs. And I'm not sure if you're buying or selling at this auction, so I'm going to have to put this video into my catch-up list as well and see. But Butler Family Farm shows us all the things they do on the farm, including the things that go wrong, how they get fixed. Jerry does a lot of woodworking in the shop. He was talking about that today. They bring us into the kitchen, and then they even make their own tools on the farm when they need to. So there's a lot going on here. Then they've got shorts, and these videos have now gotten into 12,000 views on a couple of them, one at 53,000, and then live streams on the channel as well. So they're live every Monday as a minimum. And this is where Jerry and Susan either give us a chance to get to know them, or they could be hosting a StreamYard panel full of guests, or they could be out at an in real life meetup. And they've got a few live streams set up here. They've got something really exciting going on. They're part of the Cruise in Alaska 25 project that's hosted by Rambling with the Brooms and Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa, where they're taking a cruise from Seattle to Alaska for a week and hoping to have booked 100 rooms worth of creators and supporters. I'm not sure how many people are going, but I am very upset that I'm not able to make that. I couldn't have known back when they started the project whether I would have been able to. But even up to the last few months, I've got myself in a situation where I won't have any vacation time for a while, so I won't be leaving probably even the province for a long time. Rich Cat Ranch, good to see you in the house. I'll get them onto the wheel because they happen to be a member right now, as is Butler Family Farm. You'll notice this channel's over 100,000 now. Jerry has been very forthcoming about the idea that he's used the YouTube promotion system, which apparently they did some updates this week. I haven't used it, so I am unsure about that yet. But this is a legitimate way in the YouTube studio to promote your channel through advertising. So you have to decide if you want to pay for that or not. What I would do for anybody that is even thinking about it, though, is reach out to a few people who you know have used it, like Butler Family Farm, and then he'll introduce you to another couple of people so you can get their opinion on whether or not it's something that you really want to do. And it's just a thought, but he's been willing to talk to anybody that wants to about that kind of thing. And then, hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat again. And Butler Family Farm, thank you for the super chat. Jerry and Susan have done that countless times before. I really do appreciate the extra generous support, of course. And then Me Too Times Elevate Me to You as a channel I'm still getting to know, but they're coming up for the same reason, because we always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen.
For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like.
It's funny, the Black Widow's Web is talking about renting an Airbnb just to get away. It's a great idea if you can. We're thinking about doing something small like that, like maybe renting a cottage for a couple of nights or something like that. Exploradora 80, good to see you in the house from Australia. You might be surprised to know that I'm actually, as much as I talk about social media and being like first on all the platforms like MySpace and Facebook and eventually Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and every other thing. I'm actually the last one to use a lot of the online services, and you would have think for somebody so tech savvy that I'd be jumping on the stuff, but I was one of the last people I know to start ordering from Amazon. I've only been ordering for a few years now. And Uber, I was one of the last people. I only started using Uber, could have been last year, something like that, or not long ago. And Airbnb, I haven't rented one yet. I don't know whether I even will when I go to do either a hotel or if I do rent a cottage or something like that. I'll be going right to their website as opposed to Airbnb, but we'll see. But I'm always curious to know people's opinions about these things. I like to watch them evolve, and then perhaps one day I'll do something like that. But a great idea to get any kind of relaxation if you can. Me Too Times Elevate to Me to You is a brand new channel here in the Tuber Chat family. I'm still getting to know them. They're live right this second. I'm just going to grab one of their latest videos, and I'm going to see, this is a really lengthy one, but that's okay. You'll get a couple of watch hours for this, literally. And then I'll put that in my catch-up list. What I usually do, or always do, is when I have that playlist that I keep talking about, I just have a fun name for it, my catch-up list, where I catch up with creators. Whether you're on a phone or a computer, you can reorder the videos. You can move them up and down the list. And I always do it based on the shortest ones first, leading into the longest ones at the end. The reason why is because when I have a half an hour to sit and actually watch videos, I can watch like 20 in the first hour, and then things like live stream replays or longer stuff usually gets run towards the end when I run out of time. But that's an idea. And then we see that they want to help us with our YouTube journeys. And then they've got shorts on the channel as well. These have gotten into 300 and almost 400 views, which is great to see. And then live streams on the channel as well. So like I said, they're live right this second. They seem to be live almost daily. As a matter of fact, they're working on 400 subscribers now, so we'd love to push them a little bit farther towards that milestone. So I typically don't do reviews on channels. I mean, the thumbnails look great. You've obviously got a professional look to all the thumbnails, those headshots here. Now, what I don't understand though is I wonder who the creator of the channel is, because I see so many other faces in the videos. So I'm curious about that. But yeah, these thumbnails look... my recommendation for everybody is to always use 3 thumbnails for every upload, and then you could change them later if you want and everything else. But this gives you a chance to not have to be right about whether people like your thumbnails or not. It might even be upsetting, but you might find that the thumbnail that you like the least is the one that everybody else likes the most. It doesn't matter. We want the views, right? We're not worried about hopefully our own egos or emotions and things like that, although I understand what it can be like. But as far as I can see, this channel's done really well so far, meaning the presentation is great. So I'm looking forward to getting to know it, and then hopefully I'll catch you for one of these live streams. Now, this one I see you're doing a live silent chat thing, and lots of creators do that kind of thing. So what those usually are, a lot of people mention the idea of ASMR or something, but what they really mean is pleasing audio, pleasing visuals, and then anybody can trickle in and out of there and like gain friends and things like that. So please correct me if I'm wrong about what you're doing right this second. But this is another place where people can go and meet friends, but we see things like that come and go all the time. Consume the Goodness, good to see you in the house. I'll have to get to know the channel better to see if there's anything I can recommend in my own opinion. I mean, I'm growing like everybody else, but if there's anything specific I can see that could be helpful, then I'll mention it. But I typically don't really call out things when we think about reviews here in Tuber Chat. I really just promote the channels more so. And then, yeah, Exploradora 80, it's my favorite trick. Actually, I'll show you that now. So me to you, me 2 times elevate me to you. Thank you for the super chat. You don't have to do that every time, but I really do appreciate that. What I'm going to show you, my playlists here. So if I use my catch-up list, this is that fun name for a playlist I have. So you see I got a few videos in there. One I've already run from Butler Family Farm, but I actually want to see it. So I'm going to move that one to the top just because I want to make sure I see it when I go to this playlist. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these videos, and you see how I can order them? 5 minutes here, 7 minutes there, 2 minutes there, and I could just move them up. You could do this on a phone as well. I believe you got to hit the edit button or the little pen, and then you'll be able to move the videos. But you see what I mean about how convenient this can be. So if you've got some time, you can watch videos, and you can put a bunch of people's live stream replays at the end and give everybody a bunch of watch hours if you wanted to, and let it run overnight or whatever you want to do, kind of thing, right? So these are just ideas, but that's exactly what I do, just to show you. Consume the Goodness is in the house. If I didn't already say hello, Kendra, good to see you in the house. Fever Dream Animation, I think, has been here for a whole stream. I appreciate that. And then, yeah, Palazzo Place, where possible, I like to see people on streams. But, I don't... lots of people have different ideas for different live streams and things like that. I have a suggestion for everybody right now. I don't know if I've ever said this in this way before, but here's a thought. So if you're considering doing a series of live streams, or God forbid another channel, right? If you say to yourself, oh, I'm going to start doing these things, what I would do is look for other channels that you already know. Not like looking for stuff you don't know and trying to convince yourself like that's a good idea. People that you know, and see if any channels have done 100 of what you want to do. Because if they haven't, they might have quit somewhere along the way, which means it may not be worth the time to start. You might be able to come up with a better idea. Because I see so many times people start channels or start series of videos or streams and then they don't do it after. There's nothing wrong with that. I've changed my mind a million times too. As long as you know you're doing it and you're okay with that, then of course it's fine. But I don't like to see anybody upset and discouraged and every other thing, right? So these are just ideas, but there's a thought. If you have a look at other channels, see if they're doing what you want to do, and then finding that not anybody has been able to follow through for dozens and dozens of episodes, or God forbid, like I say, 100, then I would think about revamping the idea. And yes, Exploradora 80, you could do it on a phone. It's a little bit harder. I think you got to go to your playlist and hit the pen or edit button. I'm on an iPhone, so it might be different than yours, but that's just an idea. And then, yeah, Black Widow's Web says playlists are a great tool. That's our featured channel for today, by the way, Black Widow's Web. We looked at them at the beginning of the stream. And thank you again for the super chats. Me too times elevate me to you. I'm looking forward to seeing what you've got to say on your channel, because I like to learn from creators as well. I certainly don't want to make it sound like I think I know everything. And then, yeah, Handicap Traveler, we need a barbecue sauce list for our videos next as well.
If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course.
And then, thank you, Explorador 80. Relax with Mel is in the house. And then Just Jason Keto, I forgot to mention it until now. He's actually got a premiere coming up right after Tuber Chat. So all of our moderators here, first of all, are dear friends of mine and dear friends of each other. They all care deeply about the YouTube journey. They care about other people, generosity, and their overwhelming sense of it is probably what draws me to each of them individually, and probably draws them to each other. But you'll be able to meet more friends on any of their channels in premieres or live streams. Michael's Adventures premieres every day. Pete premieres usually every Tuesday. He's still been dropping videos. I hope everybody's still catching Pete's videos and dropping him comments of love, hoping he'll see that we're anxious for him to return, but hope he's enjoying his time. And all of our moderators do different things on their channels, but they all let us continue to meet people exactly the same way we do here in Tuber Chat. So you'll make more friends when you're over there. So Jason will give us a chance today. It won't be a very long video, but it will be able to extend our stream here by another 10 or 15 minutes, because he'll go right after, and we can raid right in there, live redirect right in there, and continue meeting friends while we see another chaffle recipe. Now, he's done a lot more than that on his channel. He's done probably 100 chaffle recipes, but he's done other recipes as well. They always have only a few ingredients. They're easy to make, simple to follow, and he does a lot of product reviews. All of these things together can help us understand the ingredients and how they're going to affect us when we think about a keto-based diet or lifestyle. He's got a lot of guests on the channel as well. They share their life experiences. He's got more informative content on the channel, and then he's got product reviews as well. Sometimes things that are related, like a barbecue or a chaffle maker, sometimes an air fryer or something similar, or he might unbox a GoPro or take us on a trip just for some variety if he's doing something outside or on the road. Shorts on this channel have gotten into 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 views on some of these healthy looking and grilling shorts. And then this one here I've seen, this has 22,000, but it's entertaining, I promise you, and worth the watch. Then live streams on the channel. He's live every other Thursday during the summer. Pretty soon he'll be back to every Thursday night. Sometimes he's got a guest, sometimes it's Jason himself, sometimes he does a cook-along live stream, and sometimes he hosts a panel full of guests. So he's always trying to mix things up for his audience, but he's got a vibrant community that will help with questions and comments when we do talk about keto-based diets or lifestyles. And then oh, that's fantastic, Donnelly Montgomery. I like to see people using their powers for good. And then Cruz Bolero, good to see you in the house as well. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat. Rich Cat Ranch, I did get you on the wheel a while back. Hopefully I'm not missing anyone. And then hopefully everybody will connect with Just Jason Keto. Like I said, in about an hour and a half from now, he's going to go on a premiere. And then we will go and raid into that one. And I'll drop the link about 15 minutes before it starts, so that we can get prepared and be over there, and I'll come over for that one as well. So let's spin the wheel and see who's coming up next.
If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone.
And then Home by Design with Marilyn is up on the screen right now. This creator is going to help us with budget-friendly design ideas that are modern, elegant, cozy, and more. They've got information on their About section to let us know what else they've got in store for us. We see that they've got a shopping video coming up, and that's actually going to be in a couple days from now as a premiere. Hopefully I'll catch that one. And then thank you, Butler Family Farm, and thanks for the super chat again. I really do appreciate the extra generous support. Him and Susan have done that a million times before, and I can't wait to see what you're going to do on that cruise. I promise you, I will be full of jealousy while I'm not there, but more so I'll be happy to see the good time that everybody's having together, and I will be looking forward to seeing what's happening because I know they'll stream from there. Maritz's Yarn and Crafts, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. I caught them for a live stream this morning. Are they here in the chat right now? Yep, there they are. I see Maritz's Yarn and Crafts, a long-time dear friend. Home by Design with Marilyn, like I said, is going to give us budget-friendly design ideas, but they also mix things up. So here's a Sunday dinner, which is a cool idea. I'm going to put that video in my catch-up list. It's something a little bit different here. They'll take us shopping as well as show us the design ideas they intend, and then they've got shorts on the channel with a bit of variety mixed in, 2,400, 3,000 on one of them, and then live streams on the channel as well. So Home by Design with Marilyn, up until a few months ago, was going live pretty frequently. We'll see if they're going to bring those back. We got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch as much content from each other as possible as well. And then let's spin the wheel. We're moving a little bit faster now.
If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuberchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around.
I wanted to close my eyes and pray for a second, hoping that I Am Betty J Gathers has a new video. She's hopefully going to come up with some new content soon. This creator's actually been another friend of about 5 years, pretty close to it. And she now has crossed 3,000 subscribers. That's a very telling marker that I've been talking about for many years here in the Tuberchat family, where when we see channels get over 3,000 organically, then I think it really tells a lot about the creator behind the channel. That goes for everyone. And I fully expect any channel that gets over 3,000 here in the Tuberchat family to get over 10,000 if they want to, 100,000 someday, and maybe even 1 million. The only reason that those numbers become questionable is because it can take years, and we don't know what the world or YouTube or our lives are going to look like 3 years down the road. But 3,000 basically lets us know what somebody must have been through in their YouTube journey to get to that level. That's why I find it to be such a telling marker as an idea. So I Am Betty J Gathers is somebody you can see as a dynamic creator, always smiling, always laughing, full of energy. She does a lot of vlogging, brings us into her home, takes us out on the road. Subjects often include healthy eating, healthy living, essentially living her best life over 60. She talks about things like intermittent fasting and shares her YouTube journey with everybody. I've been on her channel for at least one interview one day. That was inspired by Crystal Sparkle. We'll look at that in a moment. She's got a lot of shorts on the channel. She's been known to do over 365 of them in a row. She continues shorts today, and some of these have done well, getting into 13,000 and 15,000. But the interesting thing to notice here is that this creator's got shorts in the 6,000, 7, 8, 9, and 10,000 views featuring the creator herself. And that is not something that we commonly see. So we know that she's definitely onto something with these. Always using her powers for good, motivating and inspiring. And here's the live streams on the channel. So there's Crystal Sparkle. She was challenged to do a series of interviews a while back. There's the one I did with her. Anybody could go back and watch that. We really spent a lot of time talking about YouTube and talking about moderators, our friendship, and the things we've learned for about an hour and a half. So not the longest replay in the world, but I'd recommend anybody go and watch this, or the whole series of interviews, actually, where you can get more people's insights about their friendships with Betty and the YouTube journey they're all on. She's done a ton of live streaming. It could be just her herself. She could have a guest with her, and does always a great job of keeping up with the chat. The conversation can go anywhere once it gets started, like on most channels. And then let's think about spinning the wheel, and we'll get another channel ready to go.
If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days, and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share.
So look at that. Palazzo Place is sitting right on 700 subscribers right now. I'm hoping we can push them a little bit farther, get that 700 locked in for them. We all know it's a better feeling to get a milestone locked in than to hit it and then slip back below and have to get it again. You see they got a new video from a couple days ago. It's perfect to connect with at just over 3 minutes. I'm going to put that in my catch-up list right now. Give me another piece of content to watch here. They've got a little bit of information on their About section, and Palazzo Place is an enthusiastic creator who always shares enthusiasm here in the chat, and I'm grateful for that. Palazzo Place is here with us for just about every stream as well. It's mostly outdoor content on their channel so far, but they've got some shorts here that have already gotten into a couple thousand views, and one of them over 4,000, which is great to see. I think that's a newer one, and it's taken over as the first position, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully everybody will connect with Palazzo Place. You've seen them in the chat the whole time today. They've actually been with us for every stream lately, and I appreciate that as well. I know not everybody can be here every day, and certainly not for 3 hours every time we stream, so I do appreciate every moment. What I'm going to do, though, is we'll take a break right now for 3.5 minutes, and right before we do that, I'm going to play another clip from our interview series. These are videos now on the Tuber Chat channel, both in a playlist and listed as a podcast. Extremely informative because they are interviews, but they really turn into friendly conversations where I ask these creators about their time in the Tuber Chat family, their YouTube journey in general, and how to get 10,000 subscribers.
We've had a friendship that's gone on beyond 3 years now. I think we're actually getting a lot closer to 4. And I appreciate your friendship, Lou, of course. But I remember very clearly, I won't forget this, a conversation that we had. You were talking to me about how to grow over the course of all this time. And you mentioned the idea of coming into live streams in the chat, hanging out and having true conversation with people so that you can really get to know people and get known as well.
Yeah, that was way back. Looking back, what I went from 0 to 1,000 to 4,000 overnight, and the 0 to I think it was 82 was a completely different crowd than the 3,000 to 4,000 crowd.
Right.
And in the live stream, the people that are in when you're at 4,000 subscribers aren't the people that you started with.
Okay.
And coming into a live stream, especially a live stream like mine, it's important to recognize the situation. There's a very good chance everybody knows that you're going to have a channel. You don't have to tell them. They can click on your name and look it up. There's a pretty good chance that everybody is going to welcome you if you come in with just a hello. For us, it's an aloha, but just a hello. How are things going? I had a double cheeseburger today, and start jump into a conversation like that. Instead of just coming in and self-promoting or telling people another channel that you came from, or instinctively trying to drop a link because you're desperate to grow your channel. You'll grow if there's 3 people in that live stream and you sit with them for 30 minutes and just talk about what you did the last weekend, there's a good chance you're going to get into the conversation that you have a channel, or they're already looking at your channel and will bring it up, and you'll get a subscriber without even trying. Less is more in a live stream. Blasting and marketing yourself in another person's live stream get you nowhere. And my live stream is loaded with moderators and tools. I have a team. I have a Monday meeting. Every Monday, a meeting with all my moderators. I have 11 of them. They all do different things. One is engaged in community safety and preparation. One is involved in making sure my content and links get out. Another one is in safety and security. Another one is just a meet and greeter. Everybody has a role to play. So coming into a live stream like mine, and I'm not the only one, coming into a live stream like mine and just blasting where you're from, as where you came from as another channel, or self-promoting, it won't last. So be friendly. I mean, it's a good spot to just say, hey, I went to the river last week and went fishing. It's a great spot to be able to do that. You'll make more friends that way faster.
All right, let's go for a break for 3.5 minutes and we'll come right back. All right, we're just about back and going to look at Rushing Wind Mountain. So, Handicapped Traveler is a channel that's been a dear friend for many years now, but they dropped a super chat so that we would look at this channel, and it's an incredibly generous thing to have done. We've seen them do that many times before. Lots of creators have done that. Mama Juju crafting on the back 40. Good to see you in the house. And Rushing Wind Mountain is a very deserving channel. Ruby, the creator behind this channel, has been with us for almost 5 years now. They're here for just about every single live stream, hours at a time, and I certainly don't expect that from anybody, but I do appreciate everything everybody does for this channel to keep us going. Keto Simple, good to see you in the house. They're cooking up some keto-friendly ideas right now, I'm sure. And then Rushing Wind Mountain is coming to us from the Pacific Northwest, and what they bring is a mix of similar to ASMR type content, featuring nature and wildlife videos. They bring they bring pleasing audio and pleasing visuals to go along with that. Their videos can go anywhere from 1 minute to literally 12 hours long. They've done a lot of live streaming and some shorts to go along with it as well. We'll look at all of those. See, they've got a premiere coming up, and that's actually going to be a couple of days from now. So we got the notification on for that. I'm going to take the latest video, though, and I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. That's that fun playlist I keep talking about that I use to keep caught up with creators. When we look at Rushing Wind Mountain, we see, like I said, pleasing audio and visuals from the Pacific Northwest, along with some wildlife videos to go along with the nature here. And there's some humorous moments if you dig through these, getting into now 11,000, 13,000, even 16,000 views on one of these. Rushing Wind Mountain is monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships, of course, when we get there. And then live streams on the channel as well. So they've experimented over the years with vertical and horizontal and vertical live streams. And they continue a mix of pleasing audio and pleasing visuals featuring nature while they do that. They just did another live stream a couple of days ago, and we'll be looking forward to the next one. Of course, I got notification bells on for every single channel. We all do. And then Donnelly Montgomery coming from Florida. We got quite a few friends in Florida. Luckily for all of us, we have worldwide audiences on our channels, right? We have people literally from every time zone, every continent, and every other thing. It makes everything that much more interesting. But I knew a few of our friends from Florida will be happy to know that they've got another homie in the house. And then Handicapped Traveler is coming up right now.
For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like.
And then Faith Marie Unscripted, good to see you in the house. Never late, Izzy. Never late. I always appreciate every moment, of course. Bella's Whisper Farmstead, Kristen still in the house. For any of our members or moderators, I clean out a lot of names on the wheel every once in a while just so we can get to some more channels. But members and moderators will always be re-added as soon as I see them in the chat. That gives us a chance to get to more channels than we otherwise would have. We still got over an hour to go, and then Michael's Adventures dropped a raid earlier today, and I appreciate that. Just Jason Keto is going to be raided after Tuber Chat for a premiere as well, so we got an extended period of time to continue meeting friends today. Handicapped Traveler will allow the same thing on their channel. Handicapped Traveler's been a channel that's been with us for many years. It's gone through some changes over the summer, but they bring us travel more than anything else, usually from a certain perspective. You can read about that in their About section of course. And then they've got some cooking videos. They give us a chance to get to know them, bringing us into their home. They've been on YouTube for 3 years now. I'm just going to set my notification for these premieres as well. They got quite a few coming up. Lots of outdoor content, as you can imagine. I see some gardening. I see some cooking, along with the travel-based videos here. They're working on 1,500 subscribers, and they've got some winter weather in their shorts videos as well, getting into 1,400, 2,600, 2,700 views and beyond. And then live streams on the channel, and they've got one coming up towards the end of the month. They usually do these monthly, and hopefully everybody will catch them. We've got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other. And then Handicapped Traveler actually dropped a super chat so that we would look at Rushingman Mountain. They've done that kind of thing before. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. And then they went on vacation, so they've got a few more videos now. And then finding treasures, I'm going to get you onto the wheel in a quick second. We always put members and moderators on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. And then thank you, Exploradora80. And then, yeah, we have also those full videos on our channel. They go anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. But Lou from Two Pineapples has been a dear friend for years. So our conversation obviously is very, very friendly. They all are, but you know what I mean. And then I'm just going to show you another channel here. Sir Dank for Jesus is another channel from Handicapped Traveler, bringing us some spiritual inspiration. You get an idea of what they're doing just from the thumbnails here, but I'm just going to grab the latest video, put that into my catch-up list, and it'll give me a chance to keep caught up. And 112 subscribers here now, so we'd love to push this channel a little bit farther towards the 200 that they're thinking about. Izzy Pop. Yes. I had a lot of technical difficulties the other day too. I had to update my whole computer system. I didn't want to, and somebody like Izzy Pop will know exactly what I mean when I say I was using some software that might not now work, and now I gotta spend more hours reinstalling some of the software that's not going to work, because I usually don't upgrade my operating systems. It's a good security practice. Most people should. I consider myself a power user, so I tend to think I know what I'm doing, so I don't bother. But it became like too much. So Streamlabs pushed an update and broke everything. So I had to update the operating system. The good news is that it all worked again after. The only thing is I had to reset on probably every button in the Stream Deck again. And that happens frequently. But yeah, I've left my button off, muted, and I forget to plug things in and turn things on all the time.
If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course.
Andy from Aceflaw 1 is still here. I think Jeremy D-Day might still be here as well. Bell's Whisper Farmstead Kristen is up on the screen. And then thank you, Donnelly Montgomery. And then hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Yeah, Faith Marie Unscripted. You can kind of control it with Apple. But yeah, I was procrastinating probably way too long, so I had to bite the bullet. Bell's Whisper Farmstead Kristen on the screen right now is somebody who's incredibly supportive. I run into her every day supporting other people. I believe that's the biggest reason for her channel's rapid growth now. We've seen this channel start to grow even more rapidly, and I believe the biggest reason is because of the support that she gives to other people. So it comes back to her, and you'll hear me tell stories like that over and over again from a lot of creators who literally have generosity at the forefront of their mind. They support others so much that they can't help but have a flood of support coming back to them. The Doom is Maniac from Edmonton, Alberta. Good to see you in the house. They're one of our longest standing members. As you can see, they've got a couple of channels for me to show you. I'll put them on the wheel right now. We'll get to them soon enough. Bell's Whisper Farmstead Kristen is going to talk about homesteading tips, recipes, how-to videos, do it yourself, help, and much more. They do a really thorough job of planning their videos before even filming and editing them. One of the things I've really liked on this channel are the recipes, because Kristen has also had in her mind to bring us recipes that are easy to follow with only a few ingredients, literally simple to make. And both her and Mike have agreed that most of these, if not all of them, have turned out better than they even expected. It's just one small aspect of all of the homesteading content on the channel, including a full barn dominium that they've got going on. I really enjoyed that video. I talk about it all the time. Mike did that one, and then when we look at shorts on this channel, more of the same. All of their shorts videos are in line with all their long form content. These have now gotten into 2,200, 2,700, 3,800 views. And then live streams on the channel. Kristen's done many of these, either a fireside chat or a walk by the water. And we're hoping for more, but we've got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other. We see she's working on 3,700 subscribers right now, so we'd love to push her a little bit farther towards that milestone. The Numismaniac with their highlighted milestone message took over our stream boss position there. That's that video game life meter under my camera. I don't always remember to mention it in every stream, but every super chat membership and highlighted milestone message knocks a little bit of life off of the stream boss, and the last person to knock it out and take over gets some extra exposure for their channel. And then Faith Marie Unscripted is actually coming in with a very quick super chat here. So I'm going to put them on the screen right away. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. And then we'll get back to spinning the wheel.
If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone.
We still got well over an hour to go. Lots of time to meet new friends and put more channels on the screen. And then Just Jason Keto's going to extend our time with a premiere after Tuber Chat today. Faith Marie Unscripted is up on the screen. This is another channel I'm still getting to know, but they've actually been a friend for quite a while now. They've got information on their About section that we can learn from. And we know that they're going to give us positive and spiritual inspiration. I'm just going to grab their latest video though. This one looks informative, a chance to get to know them. I'm going to put that into my catch-up list. They've also got quite a bit of travel content I can see, and they do well with vlogging, which is great. That's always been a huge category and genre on YouTube, of course. And then live streams on the channel as well. I caught them a couple of days ago. Hopefully I'll catch you for another one of these. And I hope I can catch you for... I see you're doing pancakes there. I'm always looking for French toast on everybody's channel when I start seeing that. And then Faith Marie Unscripted is active on the other social networks as well. But working on 1,400 subscribers now, which is great to see. And hopefully everybody will connect with them. This creator looks like a dynamic host as well. Like I said, I'm still getting to know the contented channel, but I've caught them for at least one live stream. Precious Gems is in the house. Rich Cat Ranch is gifting a membership, and like I say all the time, we put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen.
If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or at mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. Rich Cat Ranch has done that kind of thing countless times before. And thank you again for the extra generous support. And then Faith Marie Unscripted, thank you so much. When we look at the chat, Rich Cat Ranch
is coming up right this second, and I see that Mama Juju Crafton on the back 40 picked up that gifted membership. So I think they were here earlier, and I forget for the life of me if it was today. I think they were in the chat for a moment. If they're still here, I'll put them on the wheel right away. We always put members on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. When we look at Rich Cat Ranch, we see another channel that's bringing us animals, music, life, family, nature, essentially, in my opinion, a homesteading channel, but they bring even more variety. So I can see I'm behind with the videos. I'm just going to grab the latest one. I'm going to see what this taste test video has got. This is making me laugh because I can imagine how the dogs must go. You'd be very excited about the different things they're going to get to eat here. I was talking about that in the last episode of Tuber Chat, actually, where I was talking about the fact I used to, we grew up with dogs, and I used to feed them from the table, and my parents would get angry and everything else. But I've also seen a situation where a family used to make whatever they made for dinner, the dog would get. I'm assuming they had dog food as well, but literally a full meal, and killing with kindness. I don't know if that's a good idea. But this looks like a fun challenge, and I'm sure the dogs were happy for that. I'll be looking forward to seeing that. Rich Cat Ranch as well is going to bring us shorts on the channel. These have gotten into 4,800, 8,400, 8,500 on another one, which is great to see. And then live streams. I caught them not too long ago. When was it? 2 weeks ago? Yeah, I caught them for another live stream. And they're on frequently. I believe they've been involved in lots of panels as well. I love an Argyle sweater, I'll tell you that. We've known Rich Cat Ranch for a very long time. It's literally gotten on years now. It's probably 3 years. It could even be longer. So forgive me if I'm wrong about that. And they're working on 3,000 subscribers right now. So I'd love to push them a little bit closer towards that milestone. We know they're monetized, so lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there as well. But thank you again for the gifted membership. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. I know Mama Juju Crafton on the back 40 will be happy to have it as well. And then Fever Dream Animation I added to the wheel a while ago. We're going to look at their channel right now.
If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share.
Look at Fever Dream Animation not even coming up in my search results now. That's got to be frustrating. This channel is working on 500 subscribers now, and they're here for just about every stream. They've been friends of ours for a couple of years now, and this channel's actually been described more than once as underrated. So people are really enjoying the classic film that they've been putting on their channel. When we look at Fever Dream Animation, we see a lot of classic film here, and the thumbnails kind of tell the whole story. I'm just going to grab the latest video. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. These tend to run anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes on average. And then they post every day, I believe, right? And then they've got shorts on the channel as well. These are a little bit different with more animation, but these have gotten into 1,700 now on one of these, which is great to see. Another one at 1,300, which is great. So some of these are moving. We can tell when the numbers are out of order on the popular page that some of the shorts are still getting views and they're shuffling around and the algorithm hasn't settled yet. Fever Dream Animation, obviously another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. M&J Metal, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Precious Gems, forgive me, I didn't get you onto the wheel yet, but I'm doing it right this second, and then I'm going to spin, and we'll see who's coming up next. What we'll do, though, is we'll take a break. We'll go for 3.5 minutes again. Right before we do that, I'll play another clip from that interview series. I'm just going to give my voice a rest for a few minutes here. And then we'll come right back. We still got an hour. It's lots of time to put lots of channels on the screen. Look at that. Precious Gems is going to be the next one that comes up. So let's head to it and let's see what Mod6510 Models has to say about how to get 10,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel.
Don't forget the people who've got you there. Like, this is why I'm very open with coming on with Tuber Chat, because I remember I only had, I think, about 2,000, 3,000 subscribers at the time.
Probably.
And I got involved in that group. And there's other groups as well what you know, if you cast your bread across the waters, it will come back. You know,
Mhm.
so always, and there's always somebody that I've engaged in on YouTube, totally different hobby, pastime,
Okay.
but we're linked by the ways. But they will know somebody that's scale modeling, and they will mention me to them.
Right.
So there's always that as well. You've got to look at it as when you're building your channel, always try to give back what you've taken out of it. So that's why if I'm home night, you know, in a weekend and Tuber Chat, because I've got it notified, if he comes on, I will pop in, give him a super chat, and I make sure I get on that bloody wheel of crap, whatever it is.
There you go.
know,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, and so that I've put back in, because remember I was there as well. I was lowly. If you remember rightly, that one day when I cracked that I think it was 20,000 subscribers, or what was it, 10,000 subscribers? Because you went up to 5,000, wasn't it? And I said to you, because I'm on 10,000, am I not allowed to be on your channel anymore?
That's right.
You had to change it, didn't you?
I had to change the intro. If somebody was to go back to the first episodes of Tuber Chat, you would hear me say something along the lines of up to 10,000 subscribers. But when Moz6510 models crossed the 10,000, I had to change the intro for the whole channel so that I could say, and beyond 10,000 subscribers. And now we're here, and you've doubled that number. You're still growing now. So
it's very slow growth, because as I said, I've taken a month. I wanted to see what a month would do to my channel.
Yeah.
And I was getting 300 to 400 views an hour down to 160 views an hour.
Right.
If I look now, I'm getting 30 views an hour. So but I've done this on purpose. I wanted a break.
Yes.
I just wanted to step back, and now it's back in, and I'm going to start doing it all again now. So
yeah, there's nothing wrong with the break when it's needed. What I have found is when we can get to a place of consistency, taking a week off, it seems to take about a month to get the momentum back, but it does come back.
Yeah, it does come back, but I needed the break. I really did. You know, and I think YouTube have cottoned on to this as well. You've seen a lot of burnout recently on YouTube.
I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a burnout. Yeah, there's definitely that. But you know, we strive to be better, and that's what it can be.
Yep.
Definitely.
Improving over time.
Improvement is it, and also it's good. It's edifying for yourself. You know, it really does boost you up when you get a video that gets 10,000 views. It really does. Like, you know, it's great. But there's also the work and the time you put into it, so it's rewarding in that respect as well.
For sure.
All right, let's go for 3.5 minutes. We'll come right back. All right, we're just about back, and we want to just remind all of our members and moderators that I remove names from the wheel throughout the course of the stream occasionally, just if I haven't seen somebody in like 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. But members and moderators will always be added right back onto the screen or the wheel if they're here. So just be active in the chat, please, if you're still listening or watching and haven't been seen and you're a member or moderator. This helps us get to more channels, so we see more new channels that we wouldn't have otherwise seen, or ones that we don't see all the time. And we still got almost an hour. Lots of time to connect. And Just Jason Keto has a premiere afterwards to extend our time by another 10 or 15 minutes. So we'll get extra opportunity to make more friends today. So Precious Gems is up on the screen right now. And when we look at what she is doing on her channel, for a very long time, she's been bringing us interesting animations to go along with interesting music. And she mixes things up over here. I'm just going to grab the latest video. Most of these are perfect to connect with at just over 3 minutes. We always watch the full video from beginning to end, 3 minutes or longer. We leave a meaningful, genuine comment related to the content of the video. And I always recommend 3 or 4 sentences so that your comment really stands out, and then they can just go into their comment section, literally click on your name and get right to your channel. It's the most important reason why we do it. Then Precious Gems as well. Whenever we're connecting with people, we give the thumbs up, subscribe, and put the notification bell on for every channel. They got some shorts over here as well. These have gotten into 8,000, 10,000, one at 16,000 views now, which is great to see. Another one at 16,000 here. And Precious Gems has been a long-time friend. This is somebody who's been with us for years and consistently brings us this music and animation. So hopefully everybody will connect with them. Had a little bit more trouble finding them in the search results right now, but I bet that YouTube's algorithm and recommendation engine is playing games again. They mix that up pretty frequently. It's becoming more frequent than ever before. We're seeing channels move around the search results a lot. I find that almost everybody becomes #1 eventually for their name around the world, as long as they're active, putting out at least a video a week. When we look at Relax with Mel, we see another creator who's here with us almost every day.
For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like.
And then Relax with Mel is somebody, like I said, who's here with us frequently. They've changed up their channel a couple of times, but this is bringing us music, mindful flow, crafts, and more. A lot of these live streams, like I was talking about earlier, that usually bring us pleasing audio, pleasing visuals to go along with it, and the videos are mixed up here with some crafting. Diamond painting was something they've been doing for a little while now. Live streams are, I believe, daily. Pretty close to it. Not quite. Not daily. Forgive me. I'm wrong about that. But pretty frequent. They've got a live stream going on right now. They'll probably, I'm assuming that they'll still be on after we're finished today. So we're going to go over to Just Jason Keto's for a premiere. But then we know that lots of channels are live on Friday night. I'm in the Eastern time zone, so it's Friday night for me. But Relax with Mel might still be on. So they'll give us an opportunity to meet more friends while we're over there as well. So hopefully everybody will connect with Relax with Mel. They're working on 1,900 subscribers now, and they're monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get over there. Matt and Mouse is coming up next.
If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course.
I'm overdue for getting names on the wheel. I'll continue in a moment, but Vintage Style by Joe is on there now, and then New Horizons Above and Beyond. I know they've both been here since the beginning of the stream. And then for any of our members or moderators still watching or listening, just please be active in the chat, and I'll get you back onto the wheel if you're not there. And then Matt and Mouse, fellow Canadians, and I've been taken away with this channel right away. I talk about a few different channels like this because they've done just a spectacular job. I'm not an outdoors person. I am a Canadian, and I love the winter weather. Well, that's not true. I don't want to pull myself into a lie there. I enjoy the cold much more than I enjoy the heat. I like spring and fall much better. I've come to love autumn a lot more over the years. But winter weather, the cold doesn't bother me. Just shoveling snow, we like to whine and complain about. But they've done a fantastic job here with a tiny house or tiny cabin that they've got. They give us a tour. They talk about how to make it comfortable. And I think they really did a spectacular job. I'm just drawn to these things. I don't know why. Like I said, it's not that I aspire to live the homesteading life. I'm fascinated by it because of our friends in the YouTube or Tuber Chat family, but I'm fascinated with things like cabins and, like the cottage life, let's say, and tiny homes and off-grid things and homesteading and things like that. So hopefully everybody will connect with Matt and Mouse. I'm sure you'll be taken away as I have been. I'm just grabbing their latest video. I've put that into my catch-up list. They got shorts on the channel that have already gotten into 1,700 views on a few of these. And I've talked about a few things. They've inspired some conversation here because chopping wood is something that I've participated in many times in the past. And then live stream. So they did one with Just Jason Keto. We talk about that every stream because Jason is a moderator here, and on his channel we see that past live stream called a homesteading hangout where he had a few very supportive creators, and I believe that's where I met Matt and Mouse probably for the first time. But it's great. They're here with us regularly now. Like I said, you'll likely be taken away with their channel, but they're obviously generous, loyal, and dedicated supporters as well, working on 1,900 views. So it's funny. I'm fascinated by tiny homes. That's the truth. I mean, if I won the lottery, maybe I'd start a cottage building or tiny home, company or something like that. But it's floor plans, really, that I've been fascinated with my whole life. Though even if a house is 5,000 square feet and it's got 100 rooms in it and everything, I'm fascinated by those. But I love cottages and things. When I was a kid growing up, the family had a few cottages and things like that. I aspire to one day either have one or live in one. My grandparents lived in one. They were snowbirds, which means they live in Canada during the summer while it's hot, and then for one day short of 6 months of the year, they moved to the States, usually Florida, for a lot of snowbirds, and they had a place down there. And they lived in a cottage here, though. And it was a tiny little thing, but beautiful, well done at the time. I mean, it probably was built in the 50s or 60s or whenever it was. But I remember it. They had a beautiful, they were up on a hill. So looking beyond a little bit of forestry right onto the water. They had their own little, almost private beach thing. You could almost lay a couple of blankets out there and lay on the beach if you wanted to. Private little thing. And then I got to row the boat. I was never allowed to drive it with the motor by myself, but you guys know what that's like, obviously, when you have young people doing it. The rule was I could row as far as I want as long as I could see the window, and they do that. That's where I did the wood chopping as well. So I think I've always just had a place in my heart for that, and then now with the Tuber Chat family over the last 5 years, so many homesteading channels coming in, it probably just rings a bell for me, or rings true, if that's the right way of saying that. The Source has been in the house for a few minutes now. Thank you for coming back in. They also allow people to meet in the same way we do here in Tuber Chat, or a very similar way. You'll meet more friends over there. They've sent many friends over. I put a few more channels on the wheel. So New Horizons, Above and Beyond, and Vintage Style by Joe is there. The Source is on. We'll spin the wheel, and then we'll start trying to move a little bit faster, see if we can get to everybody today.
If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone.
Oh, see if there's any way to make Izzy Pop come up in the search results here. I wonder if that space is what's doing it more than anything else. it wants to respell to Iggy Pop, obviously because of the artist for me. But it doesn't even want to give me a chance to not do that. Look at that. Izzy Pop, and then that's not what I want. Let me put quotes around it and see if that does anything for us. You can put quotes around your search terms just like in Google, and often it will help. So even with the space, I'm just not having the luck I wish I would. So there's Izzy Pop right there coming up in the search results, but with a video, not with their channel, which is unfortunate. So let's get to this. But this is Izzy Pop right here. So I'm going to put their handle in the chat. They've changed that a couple of times. Here it is right now. And then a simple family lifestyle. Good to see you here. Let me get you onto the wheel quickly. You'll take Izzy Pop's spot there. And then when we look at Izzy Pop on the screen, this creator has always been known for these really elaborate banners as well as thumbnails and avatars. Pardon me while my allergies are on me. And lately what they've been doing more than anything is mixing a lot of music with animation. Sometimes they do things a little bit different, like work on some Canva, but they've let us know on their About section that they're going to help us with digital tools like that, thinking about making graphic art or graphic design or digital art. So graphics, banners, avatars, and more. So for anybody that doesn't like doing that stuff but needs an update or a refresh on their channel, you can reach out to Izzy Pop. There's a few other creators in the Superchat family that will help with that. But that's an example. I forgot. I think I promised Greenland Quilter Katie I was going to work on something, and I've run way too much time now. I'm going to have to reach out. Izzy Pop is working on 1,900 subscribers. We'd love to push them a little bit farther towards that milestone. They're monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. They got some shorts that have done well, 1,500. One from their dear friend Scully Pop as well at 1,300. And then live streams. And they're live frequently. I'm lucky to catch them occasionally. I work Monday to Friday, almost 9 to 5 now, so it takes me away a little bit more than it did for a few months there, but luckily I'm able to catch people, especially if I have an early day home or anything like that. Grove's Bargain Emporium, Steph, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully everybody will connect with Izzy Pop. They're obviously an over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And then a simple family lifestyle is coming up.
If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuberchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around.
Simple Family Lifestyle is up on the screen, and we'll see what they've got going on. This is another channel I'm still getting to know. They've actually been with us many times now. We see a lot of vlogging here and a lot of delicious looking content in the thumbnails. Fried platano. I wonder about, I don't know what this is. I have seen, I eat banana chips all the time, and I know people eat plantain chips. They're popular around here for whatever reason. I haven't had them. I am one of these people. I never like to try anything that I haven't had before. I am not adventurous in that way when it comes to food. I love to eat. I don't miss many meals. And I eat my share of things I shouldn't admit to. But when it comes to trying new things, I shy away. The only thing I do is, like, if I go through a grocery store, and it could be even like, I grew up in Toronto. It's very multicultural. It's apparently the most multicultural city in the world. I don't know if that could be possible with competitors like New York, but maybe. But anyway, so we have ethnic grocery stores and things like that, or aisles that have foods from around the world, let's just say. So if I see a package of cookies or crackers or something that I haven't had before because it's from some country that, I've just never seen it, then I might try that, because how different could it be when you eat a wafer cookie? How much different is from another wafer cookie or things like that? But when it comes to real food, I tend to shy away. I have to be convinced. I only ever ate real sushi once in my life, and I literally had a friend at like over 40 years old patting me on the back, seeing if I was going to even make it through the meal. I am not a fan of shellfish. I eat enough fish, like salmon and halibut and things like that, but not a lot of shellfish. Simple Family Lifestyle up on the screen as well. It's got some shorts over here. These have gotten into 1600, 1900, 2000, 2500, one at 3700. This is another example of a channel that's got a lot of shorts that are really moving right now. So they're all out of order because the algorithm hasn't settled in. They're still getting views on these, I think. And then live streams on the channel as well. And they've been doing these fairly frequently, a couple times a week. So I'll be looking forward to catching you. Have I caught you for any of these? Not yet, eh? So hopefully I'll catch you for one of these. And they're working on 300 subscribers. So we'd love to push them a little bit farther towards that milestone. Fried yellow plantains are sweet. Yeah. I imagine it can't be much different than banana chips. I've eaten those a million times. It's one of my go-to like snacks. Not that I believe for a second that it's any healthier than anything else, and I don't make them. I just buy them, usually in like the bulk section or something. Tiny tuber shacks and shanties, my dear goodness. The source. Now you're thinking. Yes, I like when people have much more creative ideas than I do. If it wasn't for some of the fun people brought into this chat, I promise you it would never be fun at all. That's why we have the catch-up list. It was named by somebody else. That's why we have the Wheel of Doom. It was named by somebody else. Things are colorful just because I usually don't make things very colorful, so I work in the opposite, trying to be more fun, let's say. But the source is somebody who definitely is fun. We've had a chance to get to know them now for many months. And the source is somebody who immediately after finding the Tuber Chat family started to send friends over here right away. They continue that today. They do a lot of shout outs for other creators, a lot of interviewing of other creators and featuring them here on this channel. They're working on 2,500 subscribers now, and I'm going to grab your 3-minute video here as the latest one to put in my catch-up list, just because the other one's quite short. And then when we look at live streams on this channel, they've got a couple that are on the way, one tomorrow, one the next day. They seem to be live almost daily. So it could be a chance to get to know this creator or a chance to get to know one of their friends. And then they've got ways for people to connect in a similar way to what we do here in Tuber Chat. So you'll definitely meet friends when you're over there. And they're monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. And then he's an early stage investor, all in, yes. And then the Gross Bargain Emporium, Steph, is grabbing that silver membership again. And that means we get to see their channel every day in the slides that run during those breaks and before and after every live stream, whether or not they're here. And then let's spin the wheel and we'll see who's coming up next.
If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share.
Southern Bell Auctions is in the house. Good to see you here as well. Broke but Bountifully Blessed Carol is on the screen, and this creator is going to give us some information on their About section. Gardening on the balcony. They do micro dwarf tomatoes, some hydroponics as well, and then they'll give us a little bit more information here. I thought I'd seen more videos from this channel, but we're still working on these. I think she's posting pretty frequently, but look at this, almost daily. I'm just going to grab the latest video because I usually do, but I would recommend for anybody connecting with this channel, there's plenty of videos over 3 minutes. You'll notice when I connect with channels outside of Tuber Chat, I'm almost always looking for videos much longer, anywhere up to even 10 minutes, longer if I have to. But that's in the spirit of doing more than we talk about, right? Always giving much more than we expect to receive. But we know it matters either way. You see, I put channels on the screen. I'm always subscribed, so we know the connections are sticking even with those 3-minute videos. Then we get into shorts from Broke but Bountifully Blessed Carol, getting into 1,000 views, 1,300 on another one, which is great to see, and then live streams on the channel as well. So this creator's posting really frequently, including live streaming. They're really active in all three sections on the channel, which is great. Probably responsible for their seemingly rapid growth, now working on 700 subscribers. So hopefully everybody will connect with Broke But Bountifully Blessed Carol. We know they're here with us just about every day as well. So I know we're moving into these breaks a lot faster as well, but today my voice seems to need it, so we're just going to take another break for another 3.5 minutes after I play another clip from our interview series. But we still got over half an hour. That's plenty of time for plenty of channels on the screen. We'll get to as many as we can, and then Just Jason Keto has a premiere in half an hour where we can continue to meet more friends. Mr. Stephanie is not too far behind the Groves Bargain Emporium. Steph, thank you both for coming in. And thanks for continuing that membership stuff as well. We're going to get to these channels and the rest on the wheel and hopefully some more when we get back. Right now, let's watch a clip from our interview series. This is a couple of creators, and they actually lived in Ireland. They were known as our favorite Irish couple for a long time. And they moved to Australia, and we get to talk about the difference in their YouTube journey while they moved from one place to the other.
You mentioned the idea of shorts, so that gives me an opportunity to jump right into that. So, in every one of these interviews, I'm asking about opinions, about shorts, how we can get them to work for us. But you're the first creators that I'm talking to that have broken off into a shorts channel. I also noticed that you took the shorts off of the original channel. I'm assuming you uploaded the same ones over there, and now you have over 350 shorts on that channel. At last look, it was I think your fastest moving short video on the shorts channel, which is Unstable TV Shorts, has 22,000 views, and you're already at 768 subscribers. So the biggest thing that I think people are going to be wondering about that is, how do you feel about your decision to break your shorts off into their own channel?
So the reason we did it in the first place was because we felt like the shorts were distracting from our long form videos, because we were getting a lot of views and attention on the shorts. But while we were doing shorts and long form at the same time, it's kind of like the long form was pushed to the back.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So that's the reason why we split off into a shorts channel by itself. So we kind of use that for just, skits and memes and stuff, and then we use it for promotion videos for our main channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you said some of our highest viewed videos on the shorts channel, they are clips from our long form videos with the link in it to send it back. So we just kind of felt it didn't sit right with our channel to have it all together. So we said we'd try and split it and see if it worked.
Yeah, because when we first put them up, we had like you're saying about the YouTube algorithm and stuff, and when you're watching the metrics go up and down. When we start putting the shorts up, the videos that would usually go up and probably after a week they performed the way they done were pushed to the back. Yeah. But how we felt from how we were watching our analytics, for anyone watching, do make sure you check your analytics out regularly. It does help.
Yeah.
And there is a research tab as well, so check that out as well. It helps with your channel. Because you get an idea where your viewers are coming in and what they're researching as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just a tip for everyone. On the main channel, it didn't sit for us, but even scrolling up and down and how it looked, we didn't like it. But we used the shorts as kind of a voice, say things you can't really say on the main videos that might not go with YouTube's policies. We have a lot of fun with pranking each other and stuff like that. What we have noticed though with our shorts, anything to do with relationships or pranks wise, that skyrockets for us.
Wow.
Or if we do say a trend of meme, sometimes we might get something and sometimes we not.
Yeah.
But we've learned that shorts really help us have them crazy ideas where you just get a bit wild when you're filming on YouTube and you're I want to do this, or maybe this might look funny. It's kind of to make ourselves laugh and then just go that direction with it and just come up with crazy stuff then.
right before we go on this next break, I just want to mention something because I was thinking about Jason while I was watching a video. I don't watch every single video that Think Media and Tim Schmoyer and Nick Nimmin and all those guys put out anymore, but I watch some of them sparingly, right? And I've been following them since before I even started on YouTube, so it's pretty much 8 years, almost 9 years now. I also follow a podcast called The Diary of a CEO. I don't watch every episode, just the ones that interest me. Excuse me, but he did one the other day that was more of a round table with a couple of creators, and one of them was Cody Sanchez. But it's really interesting to see the insight that these creators have about social media and the way that we can influence people, even on YouTube. But one of the things I noticed in one of the latest Think Media videos, it was a short one, but they talked about the idea of changing the SEO, changing your thumbnails, changing your titles. Jason has told us in the chat here that he's had a lot of success with that, changing after the video's been posted, because we could do that. We could change our mind a million times if we want, but it can breathe new life into older videos as well. And I hope everybody's using the compare feature for your thumbnails and putting 3 of them up if you can find the time. But one of the things that they said is you change your thumbnails, you change your titles, only the first couple of sentences of the description, and you don't change more than one thing at a time. So I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's just something I had heard, something perhaps I will experiment with at some point. But it's interesting to see that they say that specifically, because if anybody's got experience, we know Think Media is the king of kings, right? So that's an idea. So hopefully everybody will check those out. I try to post occasional informative content from the YouTube team, the YouTube creators and creator insiders channels on our community pages. You can catch those easily, but there's a list of a handful of channels that I think everybody needs to watch, like Dara Leaves, Think Media, video creators, Nick Nimmin, Vanessa Lau, Sunny Lenarducci, and then I follow a couple other influencers like Seth Godin and Gary Vee. So we're almost back, and we're going to talk about New Horizons Above and Beyond, but I do want to chime in with some opinion about something else as well, because we talk about changing our videos, our thumbnails, our titles, and Jason makes a good point that if a video turns evergreen, don't touch it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the truth. So not that it's necessarily right, but I fully subscribe to that idea. So what I recommend for everybody is not to go and try to push your #1 video farther, and certainly not to go take your worst performing videos and try to get them to move. Here's why. If you have your worst performing videos and you get 10% more views on those videos for pushing them, or if you spend that same time and put them on your top performing videos, a 10% increase is a lot more views, right, in every case. But that just is theory and an idea. What I would recommend, though, is for anybody to take their videos. You can look in your analytics and see which your top 10 videos are performing right now, not all time, but over the last 28 days, which ones are getting the most views. I would take the next 10 and try to push them harder, because the ones that are doing great, let them do great. Let the algorithm help you, and I would focus your time on the less. I'll give you a secret about what I do when I share community posts for people here. Almost everybody in the chat here has had me share at least one of your videos at least one point in time, because I keep statistics for every stream, not just members, not just moderators, not just super chatters. Everybody who supports this channel has their channel name in lists upon lists upon lists. And then I go through who's been here the longest, who's been supporting the most, who conversates the most, along with the other things as well. When I share videos for channels that have a lot of videos over 1,000, I will go back. Like, let's say somebody like Two Pineapples, right? I'll share one of their videos every month or two. But they have videos now into the tens of thousands of views. Even Jason's got videos into the thousands of views now. Lots of our creators have. I'll go back to a video that just got 1,000 views, the latest one, and that's the one I'll share. Because sometimes, for some of you who've had your channels for a few years, you'll wonder to yourself, why? Okay, thank you, Superchat, for sharing the video, but why did you share that one? Because it's not my oldest one, it's not my latest one, it's not my best performing one, so what are you doing? And it's just because my best idea for everybody to hear is give a push to a video that's still moving. Because I consider any video in the Superchat family over 1,000 views to be popular. Everybody can disagree if you want, and I'm not saying I'm right. It's just the way I look at it. So when I see videos that are just approaching or just past 1,000 views, that's what I focus on for everybody. Unless it's only in the first few months of being in the Superchat family, then I might take somebody's most popular video. Hey, look at how these guys cracked 25,000 views or something. You know what I mean? Things that will be interesting. So even when you look at our community posts, there's different things all the time. There's live stream replays in there. There's videos. Once in a while I do shorts, not often. And then I try to share from the official YouTube channels like I was saying. So it's just an idea. And it's hard to get a share more than once a month here because I only do it every 2 hours. It's still almost 12 a day unless I share one of our things. But even our moderators only get like 1 share per month, you know, and things like that, because I try to mix it up. But you know what I mean. But this is just to give you mentality, not that you have to do what I do, not that I want anybody to you know, want to do what I do or not want to do what I do. The idea is just the mentality behind it, so that you can say, that's an interesting way of looking at it. And then you can make your decision as to whether, like, no, I don't think he knows what he's talking about. I don't want to do what he says. Or you can say, yeah, he's actually got a couple of good ideas. Maybe I'll take the good ones, right? Which I want everybody to do. So these are just ideas. And then Daniel Batal, I wonder if I've seen that channel. I probably have. If it sounds like a popular name, Keto Simple. I have been using Final Cut Pro ever since the beginning, just because I'm in the Mac ecosystem and I always wanted to be. But some of what I think about is, what if the worst in the world happens? What if the house burns down or somebody steals my computer? No problem with Apple. I can just go to the store, buy a new computer, and everything will be up and running in an hour because I don't have to remember everything. Everything's on Apple. But I did just have a situation where I had to upgrade my operating system, and I've been thinking about using DaVinci Resolve, so I might try it. I've barely dabbled with it at all because I tend to stick with things when I'm proficient. It's almost like, I've always used Photoshop, so I keep using it. I wish I wouldn't, but I do. So these are just ideas. And but I might have to look into that, but thank you for mentioning it. Up Designs Customs just picked up a gifted membership from the Groves Bargain Emporium Steph. She's done that kind of thing countless times before, and we always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen when those things happen. So we're going to look at her channel next. We're looking at New Horizons Above and Beyond right now. I'm putting Lisa J. Stocks on the wheel. Members and moderators are always added as soon as we see them in the chat, and I'll move as quick as I can. We still got another 15 minutes. It is almost time for me to drop the link for Jason's premiere. He's got one coming up right after we're finished here. So it gives us another 10 minutes or 15 minutes to connect with creators. The same way we do here. He's a beloved and dedicated moderator. All of our moderators allow that. I'll pin the link too for everybody. Oh, that's wonderful, Keto Simple. That's really great to have picked that up. It's great to know you're having influence on another creator, to have them want to do something like that. New Horizons Above and Beyond is another creator who's with us just about daily. They've got a couple of channels. They've got a historical house tour in their latest video. I'll put that in my catch-up list. That's that playlist with a fun name I use to keep or get caught up with creators. Mostly outdoor content here. Shorts are matching the long-form content, getting into 1,700, 2,200 views and beyond. And then they've got live streams here as well. They've done quite a few of these. They've been experimenting lately. We'll see if they're going to continue those. And then they've got another channel I can copy and paste right out of their About section because they like to keep this fairly updated. Fuzzy Adventures and More is their second channel. It's kind of complementary, similar content here, a little bit more indoors by the looks of it. But then when we get into shorts, we see they've got a couple of these started now as well. And they're working on 200 subscribers. So we'd love to push them a little bit farther towards that milestone. We know they're another loyal and dedicated supporter.
For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like.
And then, yeah, Keto Simple. I'm lucky here because Superchat obviously has done well as a channel over the last 5 years. Thank goodness for, the Groves Bargain Emporium. We've had things like Superchats and memberships. I never want to solicit that stuff. I do appreciate it. Everybody knows most of the time we've been at this, I've worked full time, and, those things are optional, of course. But I have put some of it back into the idea of, let's say, the channel, if I can sort of say that. But I got a nice beefy computer. So my Mac is an M2 with, I forget how much RAM is on this thing, if it was 24 gigs of RAM, yeah, and everything else. So it's nice and beefy. This will be able to handle anything for a while. We got that a couple of years ago. Mod6510 Models is in the house. We heard from him earlier. He's one of the featured creators in our interview series where he talks about his YouTube journey as well and how to get 10,000 subscribers. And then yeah, I thought there was something else I was going to mention, but maybe not. And then the Groves Bargain Emporium Steph is up on the screen. This creator gifted a membership. They've done things like that countless times before. I really do appreciate the extra generous support. Mr. Stephanie, I dropped a handle for earlier. They're never too far behind. They're always there with Steph when I catch them for live streams. There's another creator who's doing online sales in live streams, similar to what we talked about earlier. Where they'll put up a bunch of items, everybody can bid on it or buy it right now, right then and there. And these live streams actually go on sometimes for a couple of hours. You can see this one here, 2.5 hours. The latest one, 3.5 hours. They did this one yesterday. I caught them a few days ago. And Steph will always shout out other creators and other channels while they're on, so you'll meet more friends while you're there. She's working on 500 subscribers now, and now more than halfway on the road at 450, which is great to see. She's got to be excited about that, because we know that 500 is a important and exciting milestone for everybody now. As well, shorts have done really well. A lot of outdoor content here at 1,000 views, 1,200 views on another one, which is great to see. And then live streams we looked at, videos on the channel. She just got a few of these really just to bring a little bit of variety or promote the live streams. But the Groves Bargain Emporium Steph has been an unbelievably over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter all this time. So I hope everybody will connect with her. And then Ann Philbick is in the house. Oh, 2 months, but watching for you. Moz has been with us. Moz6510 Models has been with us for like 5 years. But yeah, thanks for keeping that membership going. I know people pick up gifted memberships here, this and that as well. But the reason why YouTube pushes that stuff and gives us sometimes free memberships to give away on some channels is the idea that I would estimate that when you get, let's say, 5 gifted memberships, not all at once, but in total or all at once, it doesn't matter. Usually 1 out of the 5 stays, at least for a while afterwards. So it can be a great benefit. When I'm out in channels now, I almost always gift memberships instead of super chatting, because you don't have to be a member to gift it, right? We know that it has so much more value in the eyes of many creators. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that that's the way it seems most of the time. So these are just ideas. And Philbick is on the wheel. Let's spin. We'll get another channel up on the screen.
If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you. And if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course.
And look at that. Ann Philbick's talking about jalapeno chaffles there. Mod6510 Models took their spot on the wheel. And then, yeah, in probably every case or almost every case, YouTube gives you 10 to give away on a channel. Yes, I do it everywhere else. I haven't done it on Superchat yet, but I've done it on all other channels. And then Ann Philbick is coming up. Let's see what they've got going on right now. Actually, we'll look, pardon me, at Mod6510 Models. And I'll get Ann Philbick up next. We saw Moz earlier when I played a clip from our interview series. And Moz has been a friend all of this time. But we mentioned the idea, somebody asked earlier today, and forgive me for not remembering who it was, about the idea of watch hours, right? Because there's a lot of information out there. And sometimes you go to a channel and somebody says, oh, you can't swap playlists. That's against YouTube terms. Okay, it's not. But we have to think about what we're doing. You are not allowed to offer somebody to subscribe to them just because they subscribe to you. That goes in the chat, that goes on your streams, that goes on your videos or anything like that. You can't do that. You can't offer to view because they view. It's called view for view. You can't sub because they sub. You can't give them watch hours because they give you watch hours if you look at it exactly that way. Now, I can't believe anybody specifically says that out loud, but it's possible, right? And so that's one thing we got to think about. But when we think about all the experiments we've done over the years to see whether swapping playlists with each other works, of course it works to boost the watch hours because somebody's watching an entire playlist of your videos or at least running it. You're doing the same for them. But it's the friendships that you make with creators when you trade favors like that. That's why I push it so much. That's where the magic really happens. But Mod6510 Models has been instrumental in the creation of this channel. It's continued growth and the things that we do here that we share with other people to help them along the way, if that's what we want to, call it. Let's just say R&W Farmstead, Tony Walsh, good to see you in the house. Mod 6510 Models is going to help us become a better scale modeler. They talk about all the companies, all the features, all the tools. I've seen them working on the workbench. They do reviews. They have a vibrant audience on their channel with now approaching 29,000 subscribers. And they've been at this since longer than this channel's been here, but they've been with us from the beginning. And then, and that's a good idea, Mod 6510 Models. We always recommend everybody just put the volume on like 2 or something instead of turning it right off. Shorts on this channel have gotten into 48,000, one at 98,000. I wonder if that'll be your first one to hit 100,000 or if you'll have another one pass it. It's interesting to see. Lots of live streams. So it's been a while since I've caught Moz live, but this creator will either have a StreamYard panel full of guests or they could be working on the workbench. I've caught them for both of those things. And as you can see, they've always got a full grid. They've got tons of friends over here. And monetized, of course, lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. And then, yeah, I haven't been to Wonderland in a long time, cruising on the high season travel. That is Rob. He's only a couple hours away from me in Ontario, Canada. He's actually closer to Wonderland than I am now. I worked there when I was a kid for a couple summers as well. I loved it. Not a kid, but like 18, 19. I forget how old I was. But it was a wonderful job. I would recommend it to anybody young thinking about like a seasonal job to work at a theme park if you have one close to you, because it was exhilarating. It was a really fun time. I practically lived there. They let me work overtime. I worked double shifts all the time. I was there like for 2 straight summers without barely going home. And Philbick is up on the screen right now. Cruising on the High Season Travel is up on the wheel. And what he's referring to, I've done a lot of live streaming on my personal channel. There was one more thing I wanted to mention. It was just off of one of Jason's comments there. But sharing on the community tab, even if you share your own stuff, you notice on Superchat I share almost exclusively for everybody else. I still put our live streams on there, but it's almost always for other people here in the Superchat family. On my personal channel, though, I will often, I haven't done it for a couple weeks now, but I will often run community posts for my older videos, especially every time a video passes 1,000 views. So I have many videos that have done well, but if one gets to like 16,000 and goes to 17,000, I'll say thank you everybody for 17,000 views on this video. But it breathes new life into all of those videos. I get new comments, new people are watching them, and some of the videos are starting to move now where the most popular videos on my channel, I couldn't tell you right now in order because they've moved, they've changed, which is great. I got more videos doing great and I haven't posted in months, if not a year. So on that channel. So it goes to show how much impact community posts have, and I can tell you it's the #1 thing I'm thanked for on YouTube. So we're going to go overtime. I know I'm going to crash right into Jason's premiere. I'm not going to ask you to move it or anything. Might as well keep it where it is. It's starting in 5 minutes. But I am going to drop the link again. I didn't think we were going to go overtime, so I talked too much today again. Lisa J. Stocks dropped a super chat. We're going to look at their channel soon enough. Next, actually, and then Ann Philbick is up right now. We always put super chatters on the screen as soon as those things happen. When we look at Ann Philbick, this is a channel I'm still getting to know. 71 subscribers right now, mostly outdoor content. A lot of these classic cars, you guys will know these better than I do, but they've got some gardening going on as well. They've got shorts on the channel. These feature a bit of quilting along with gardening. I'll have to learn some more about the channel. There's that Cobra and a few more cars there. I'm making it sound like I know what I'm talking about when I really don't. I only know the Cobra from the title of their video. And then Ann Philbick is working on that first 100 subscribers, so we'd love to push them a little bit farther towards that milestone. Let's look at Lisa J. Stocks right now. She's going to help us with the stock market. She talks a little bit about crypto. She's very forthcoming about her own portfolio, stock, and investment plays. I'm just going to grab her latest video and put that into my catch-up list. That's a playlist I use to keep caught up with creators. And then Lisa J. Stocks is working on 6,600 subscribers now, which is great to see. There's been a lot of activity. I mean, now with like tokenized stocks and things like that, it has to be exciting times. So I'll be looking forward to catching up with Lisa J. Stocks and seeing what they have to say about all that. I'm studying crypto like every day for an hour a day now. And then shorts on this channel have gotten into 5,900, 6,500 views, 7,600 views even, and then live streams on the channel as well. And they can have guests with them. They've introduced us to a few friends actually. It's been a couple months since I've caught you live. I started a new job a couple of months ago. I'm almost on the third month now, and it took me away 9 to 5 Monday to Friday and a little bit more. So I find myself struggling to keep up like everybody, but I'm just going to hopefully catch you for another live stream soon. I got notification bells on for every single channel, but thank you again for another super chat. Lisa J. Stocks has done that countless times before. They just took over our stream boss position. I talked about that earlier, the video game life meter under my camera here. Every super chat membership and highlighted milestone message knocks a little bit of life off of the stream boss. The last person to knock it out and take over gets some extra exposure for the channel from that. So Terry is in the house, and then I see Jesse Journals and Unboxings, or pardon me, Unboxes is coming up right now, and then Vintage Style by Joe is still on the wheel. And I'll drop the link one more time for Just Jason Keto here. We might not be as overtime as I thought. Maybe I'll cut our exit for today and we'll head right over there. And then just please say Tuber Chat Raid when you go over to Jason's channel, and his premiere will allow us another probably close to 15 minutes to continue connecting the same way we do here. Jesse Journals and Unboxes is another beloved and dedicated moderator, the newest entrant into our moderator squad, but she's somebody who's been with us for 5 years now, and this creator's support for all of us has increased over the years. We all know how difficult that trick is to do because we're supporting more and more people as time goes on. Jesse Journals and Unboxes brings us a lot of crafting, journaling, and unboxing videos. Some of it involves subscription services. She also does hauls from time to time. She shows us the things that she makes, and she collaborates with other people in a lot of her videos as well. Shorts on this channel have gotten into 1,300, 1,400, 2,300 views, and then live streams on the channel as well. She does these occasionally, but she's another creator who can go live whenever she wants. We'll have a flood of support. When we look at her shorts videos, though, she features a lot of the things she finds. There's some washi tape right now. I've just learned what that is. And then she's got bath and beauty products, jewelry, snacks, stationery, crafting supplies, and much more. She features a lot of the things she finds in the unboxing videos and her shorts videos. And Jessie premieres every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, so we have one to look forward to this weekend. Cruising on the High Season Travel is Rob, like I said, another fellow Canadian from just a couple of hours away from me. I forgot about Wonderland. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that. I usually get a season pass every year, and then for the last few years I haven't been using it. I've only been going once, but maybe I'll catch it in the fall when the weather cools down a little bit. It's way too hot for me. I'll have to hide from the sun. Cruising on the High Season Travel brings us travel whenever they can, including cruises. But lately, in between those cruising and travel videos, they bring a lot of food and takeout reviews. And Rob has actually inspired me to try at least one thing so far. I'm still looking forward to maybe tacos from Barbarito. I'm sure they cost an unreasonable fortune. There's another place called Casada in Canada, and it was like I ordered 3 tacos without even looking at the price. It was almost $25. Sure, it's Canadian, but that's still like 17, 18 American dollars. That's out of control in my opinion. And Cruising on the High Season Travel is working on 1,600 subscribers. We'd love to push them a little bit farther towards that milestone. You probably recognize Rob. He's been featured on dozens of other channels in StreamYard panels. I think I even caught him this morning with Scott from Controversial Cruising, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what channel he might have been on. And then shorts on the channel as well. We see he was actually one of the creators in that panel I talked about earlier, where we had 10 channels worth of creators together talking about YouTube to share our opinions and experience. And then live streams are frequent with Cruising on the High Season Travel. He might be on every day. I'm not sure about that. And then Just Jason Keto has a premiere right now, so I'll drop the link for that again. If everybody would please say Tuber Chat Raid when you get there. Vintage Style by Joe has learned what it's like to be picked last from the Wheel of Doom. And if you've been here long enough, everybody gets to learn what it's like to be first and last. But Vintage Style by Joe is a channel I enjoy watching. She does a great job of keeping up with everybody when she's live streaming as well. She makes colorful and vibrant things on her channel, usually with scraps. That's what I've seen from her the most. But she's taken things that might have otherwise been passed along or discarded and made beautiful customized things for around the home. She's working on some Christmas videos right now. I'm hoping that those will do well for her as the months pass on into that fall season and as we start to look towards Christmas. Lori's Tech Time, good to see you in the house. That is a long-time dear friend. She's been with us for about 5 years as well. I'm glad to see you in the chat. She's got a few channels, actually. Vintage Style by Joe. You can see the colorful, vibrant things that she's making. And then shorts on this channel feature a little bit more of the same with a bit of variety mixed in, getting into 2,500, 2,600 views on a couple of these. She's monetized with almost 2,500 subscribers as well. And she's got a live auction coming up. So we'll see what she does with that towards the end of the month, another week or week and a half from now, I think it is, almost 2 weeks. And otherwise, we see her making different things, and like I said, doing a great job of keeping up with the chat while she's on. Vintage Style by Joe has been with us for almost every stream as well. So she's prepping for the winter, which is great. Wonderful to be getting ahead of the curve there. And hopefully everybody will connect with this generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And thank you, everybody, for the time that you spent. I really do appreciate everybody, every moment everybody can be here. We're going to make a quick exit today. I'm going to cut the extra from the stream again so that we can get right over to Just Jason Keto's channel, and then we're back in 3 days.